It's Thursday, January 6th, and you're tuned in to the TNIAB podcast. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
And this is the Geek Chic Culture Show where we talk about all the cool things in the whole wide world. Welcome to 2022, Anthony.
Dude, the future is now.
Yes?
We live here. When's my flying car?
Go back to 2010.
Oh, man.
Actually, I thought those were supposed to come out in, like, the early aughts.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, like all the 1970s thing where, like, in the year 2000, you'll have
I remember
your specific pods or whatever.
I remember watching those on, like, Discovery Channel. I was so excited.
The future will be great. No one will work because computers will be a thing.
Yeah.
And then they were like, what if we made you work harder?
I'm down. I'm down.
Oh, God.
Do I get paid more?
No.
Well, then no. I'm not down. Yeah, so it's a new year. Same shit though.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
We
just had another round of restrictions on our freedoms.
Dude,
No, I'm
we
just
are
joking.
regressing.
Yeah.
It's been wild. I can't believe it. I can't believe we've gone back to restrictions on indoor dining. Movie theaters are closed here.
Yeah, 'cause it was funny
Schools
because
are
me and
at
Blavin were
home.
talking about. Blavin was like, "Oh, once I come back into the city, like we should get all the boys together, go get some fun and shit." And
Ha!
I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that, right? And then like the next day, no restaurants. We're like, fuck.
So, we can do patio.
Oh, we could go to that outdoor. Was it dim sum, or whatever, was that outdoor hot pot? What was that place out in Markham?
I don't know if they're doing them like now in the winter
This the prime time.
because they were doing them in the middle of the summer, and that's
No, but they
that's
were.
when I was like, "What the f?"
Didn't they have like heating lamps? Or was that place you said that had like heating lamps?
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
but that was in the fall. Yeah.
I guess it was like 1 degree. Yeah, true.
No, it wasn't even. It was like 10.
What?
Yeah.
Heating lamps at +10?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
these kids are weak.
Like it was like 8 to 10 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's getting into the minuses. It's good stuff.
All I'm saying is I got this jacket that's gonna keep me protected to -40, so I'm good.
How's your legs doing?
Great.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I got thick.
Below
jeans.
the kneecaps?
I got heat tech.
All right.
I can wear
okay.
tights.
Okay.
I got lots of tights.
I've been going to Lululemon. All right.
Yeah, I just spent so much money on their Boxing Day sale.
Oh my god.
That's actually where this sweater's from. It's kind of expensive, but I really like their clothes.
Damn. Well, I'm glad it's the year 2022 and you can come out to all of us.
Yeah,
Damn.
I don't get it. What's the joke?
That you're gay.
Oh, because
Right?
I'm at Lululemon.
Because you're at Lululemon. All right. The joke is that you
Oh.
are a homosexual siding person.
Oh my god.
All right. It's next you're going to come out and you're like, Anthony, I sold my car, bought a Miata. All right.
No. Nah.
Got a 2-seater Miata. Look, it's so cute. Oh my God.
Wow.
It's so easy to work on.
No, actually, I did go looking at cars.
Miata?
the past week. No,
All
a
right.
Toyota.
All right.
A Toyota.
Depends what kind of Toyota.
It's a 2-seater.
Corolla?
Nope.
Supra?
Nope.
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an 8.6. It comes.
Oh, the
in
new 8.6?
Torreno
Okay.
blue.
All right. Okay.
But
all
I'm
right.
thinking white. Oh God.
You got to get the carbon fiber hood.
What a basic color.
White. You got to get white with the carbon fiber
Such a
hood. So I'm
basic
telling
color.
you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking. We'll see.
Those
We'll
hoods
see.
Think of all the gas mileage you'll save with that light ass hood.
None.
Yeah, exactly.
None.
But it looks cool. All right.
Yeah. So last week we did the listener and our award show.
We did. Apologies again for the audio that happened.
Yeah. Hopefully it sounds better this week though. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping.
You're literally monitoring it right now.
Yeah. So we'll probably go. Yeah, we'll go with this and see what happens. If it gets messed up, I don't know. Speaking of which, I noticed I'm gonna change this filter
Why?
on mine.
You don't get enough pop protection?
because there's too much plosives. So I didn't.
Plosive? What does that mean?
You know, like when you get the positives on
Oh,
your
okay.
on your speech when you're like Peter Pan
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
picked a penis of pickled peppers.
Whoa,
What? Yeah.
whoa.
There we go.
I knew
That's
I called
the
it, dude.
one.
I called it. 2022, we're off to a strong start.
Yeah, but hopefully y'all got through it.
What
But
a
we're here.
diverse podcast we have.
I know. Anyways, we're here. We're now. And you know what? Things are happening, but we got a question to chew on.
Dude, the more things change, the more things stay the same, you know?
Absolutely. Paul Chu writes in with the first question of 2022.
What's up, dude?
What are some things that just get better the more and more you consume them?
Nice.
This can be multiple viewings of a specific movie, multiple playthroughs of a game, etc. Please give specifics. In case it's confusingly worded, it could be something that once you are given the full context of the story, subsequent watches let you see the breadcrumbs that were left. Or a game where playing through it once you're totally OP completely changes the gaming experience. This doesn't have to be limited to nerdy stuff either. If your palate has gotten more fancy, consuming craft beer or fancy coffees might get better because now you can discern the different nuances in the ingredients. Well, first of all, I am not an alcoholic.
I am an alcoholic.
I cannot tell you the difference between craft beers and whatnot.
Oh, beers are trash. All beers that taste the same.
I also couldn't tell you like the real nuanced differences of wine.
Yeah, there's bad beer and then there's worse beer, and that's about it.
That's how I feel about alcohol in general.
Dude, come on.
There's
When I
like-
brought over that expensive whiskey, that's how you're feeling?
No, but I mean like it's cool as a flavor experiment.
Yeah.
But I'm not consuming it being like, oh, this is delish and this is even more delish.
Okay.
It's more like that's a cool texture. That's a cool effect. But I'm not craving it.
Okay. I for alcohol specifically, hard liquor, I put them in two categories. This is the good shit, which is you don't mix it, and this is swill and you mix it.
Okay.
Like this is good for mixing, this is good on its own, and those are the two categories.
Fair enough.
Right. And then like there's other things too. Like I'm not claiming to be like a fucking sommelier, right? Like, oh yes, the roast of chestnuts and the blueberries and blah. Right. But like I don't know. I think in most things, even in things I don't give a shit about, like beer.
Yeah.
Like, there are differences, obviously, but
no.
you should become an alcoholic.
Okay, well then let's go back to his question then. What are the things that once you go through multiple times, or you like to go through multiple times because it gets better and better?
In media,
Firefly always gets
oh
better,
my God,
baby.
dude, get over it.
You know what gets better over time? The more now that I've watched it again,
What?
the MCU.
Really?
It's gotten better because like they're definitely. It's tough to say though. Like I don't know if they're actual hints that they imply from movie to one another, but it's very smartly tied together.
I feel like that's a situation where they've retroactively looked at the past movies.
Absolutely,
And we're
that's
like,
why.
okay, put the hint in here. And
Yeah.
then, oh, this was a hint the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like it's hard to tell where the actual creative process for that came, but it's cool that it exists and it works.
Yeah, I could see that. I think for me, there's a lot of stuff that I've already mentioned on this podcast before. Like Fooly Cooley is something that like your second and third watch, you'll like it's not just random
absolutely,
robots and shit.
yeah.
And also it's short enough to where that's cool. I love almost any Kojima game. Like you replay through Metal Gear Solid 2 and you pick up on more and more shit, more and more secrets that are scattered throughout that game. Zombie slash hack and slash mini game that's like only if you save at a specific point in Metal Gear Solid 3, and then the next time you load in, you wake up in a zombie game. Like a bunch of weird shit like that. But I think the first thing to ever do that was the movie Donnie Darko for me. Have you ever seen that movie? Yeah. So you go through Donnie Darko being like, this is some weird fever dream bullshit. And then knowing everything you do know at the end of that and rewatching the movie again, you're like, oh, they planned all of this out. They planned all this stuff you thought was just like random nightmare horror shit was all symbolic of something, but you just didn't have the information yet.
For sure.
And that was definitely a movie where I was like, oh, like art like this can exist, and that's fucking sick. It's cool. And I guess there's like other stuff too, like if keeping it on video games, like most recently probably Devil May Cry 5, where the first time I played through that game I was like, yeah, this is pretty sick, but then the more and more I played it and I learned the mechanics and I went through the different difficulty levels, even other stuff like Ninja Gaiden, like the Itagaki Ninja Gaiden series, the higher you get into difficulties in that game, you basically have to play it like it's a completely different game because of the enemies that are thrown at you and like the mechanics that don't exist in lower difficulty levels and stuff like that.
I can see it, but like, wouldn't you say that's every game? Any game with a difficulty level?
There's a lot of games where it's just they do more damage, you have less health, and it's not really.
Yeah, but you have to change your playstyle to accommodate for that, and it makes it like not necessarily better.
Yeah, I guess like on the broadest of scopes, sure, but like these are games that like do it, or it makes the experience better. Like when you had told me to play Last of Us on Grounded,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is definitely, you have less resources, they do more damage, but also it changed the experience for the positive,
that's true.
right? Instead of like, I don't know, a Wolfenstein or like a Call of Duty,
Oh,
where it's
fair,
like
fair.
play Call of Duty on Veteran or whatever, and you just go down from 2 bullets that you couldn't see.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool, right? Stuff like
Okay.
that. I think there's nuances, baby. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything else for that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think off the top of my dome. Gokaiger, obviously. The more you watch Gokaiger.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do this week.
You didn't watch Gokaiger?
Yeah.
Wait, is there a movie out or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a 10-year
That sounds
special.
I feel like we should watch it, because that was like one of our first Sentai reviews.
That was the first Sentai.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta watch that as a unit.
Yeah, I have it now.
Okay.
It's the 10-year anniversary special.
Dude, I miss those guys so much.
I think Marvelous is missing an eye. Yeah.
Wait, the pirate has an eye patch?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He has an eye patch.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think, okay, this is gonna sound stupid, and I'm sure you could find something relatable, but man, I can really tell when someone has made very bad rice, or even slightly bad rice.
I guess my equivalent would be spaghetti.
Yeah, but because I'm so used to the concept of a rice cooker.
Yeah.
When like someone makes me rice in a pan and it's not perfect. Oh man.
That's like one of the things where I'm just like, when I get my own place,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy a rice cooker. Like, there's no reason to cook rice in a pot anymore. Like,
Yeah.
if you have the means,
Yeah.
just get a rice cooker, dog.
But
Like,
then it's also gotten to the point where like I have a pretty basic rice cooker here.
yeah,
But like all the people I know in my life have very expensive
Zojirushi top end.
Yeah, so my one work friend, she has have you heard of the brand Cuckoo?
Yes.
Yeah, the Korean one.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, they are not cheap.
No, they're
I'm
not.
like,
It's all imported. The
I know,
buttons are like in Korean.
Exactly. I'm like, why? Like my sister has Zojirushi.
Yeah.
But
she's a weeb, so she got the Japanese brand.
hers are all in
Yeah.
what is it?
In
Kanji?
Japanese?
In
Yeah,
katakana?
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
Hell yeah.
I'm like, oh man, where's the start button on this shit?
You gotta learn to read, buddy boy.
Yeah, so I know where start and stop is, but I don't know like what is
all
it?
the other.
Yeah, it's like brown rice or timer. I'm
okay.
like, I don't fucking know. But anyways, yeah, like I can tell the difference when someone's cooked me rice. Yeah, in a pan, but when someone's cooked it for me in like a Zojirushi, and I'm like, oh man,
This is real good.
how come and it's just white rice. Like
Yeah.
I don't mean like they added seasoning. It's just like this is the basic rice.
Yeah.
And it's the changes are not monumental. They're so small.
But it's
But
enough.
For your note, if like because it's a content I have every day,
Mhm.
the minute it changes slightly, it's just like I know what I'm missing out on now. And at one point, and I used to be, of course, the type of person be like, why would you spend $500 on a rice cooker?
Now you know.
And it's like I eat rice every day. Why
You're-
wouldn't I spend $500 on a rice cooker?
That's like when you're a kid and you're like, why would you spend money on a mattress? That's not a video game. And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you sleep on
Every
a mattress.
day.
Every day you sleep.
Jesus. Like why don't you buy some nice sheets?
Just sleep on the floor.
I
I'm a child and my body cannot get hurt by anything. Just sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's what I would say. That's the most expert I've got.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really trying to think of stuff off the top of my dome, but like other stuff is just like palate refinement, which isn't really the same thing as what the question is asking. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to separate the two, but
yeah, for sure. Like
other than the basic ones.
I will say, like I definitely know the differences between a good coffee and a bad coffee.
Yeah.
Like I know what real good coffee tastes like.
And you know when they've burnt the beans when the water's too hot.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That said, I have been on record saying I love burnt diner coffee. And like my standards for the enjoyment of coffee are very low. And while I can appreciate a better coffee, I honestly just like bad coffee.
Oh my god, dude.
It's awesome.
You're just putting carcinogens into your body.
Yeah, I know a lot of my friends, like especially my female friends who drink a lot of tea. It's the same way for them. Like they
You just get that Lipton's $1 for 1,000 packages.
Exactly, because it's more like this
yeah.
gives me more tea. Like I understand what good tea tastes like, but
Yeah.
because of how much tea they consume, and I guess their relative income level, it's just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
worth to go get the batshit
Yeah, but if you got
tea.
the new beans with the
Yeah.
French press and
Absolutely. Or like the time even to prep it, right? Because I think, especially for tea, it's like you boil water, you dunk it in, right?
that's why you buy the $1,500 Phillips coffee thing that stores fresh beans and grinds it for you.
Oh, did I tell you that my boss, his wife, works for like a commercial level espresso machine company?
Whoa, cool.
And he's like, because he drops her off at work every day.
Yeah.
And he stays for 5 minutes. They make him an espresso before
Aw,
he takes
so
off.
nice. Wait, like a real espresso?
Like a real espresso.
Like an Italian small portion?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the small.
Not like I go to Starbucks and I get an espresso
no,
and they
no,
give you
no.
a fucking grande.
No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
No, that's Americano. Come on.
Yeah, it's garbage, right? Swill.
Yeah, but so he gets one of those, and yeah, he gets a short.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he was telling me about that. He's like, it's so good, Vince. But he's like, to be honest, I have an espresso at home because I couldn't fucking be bothered. And I'm like, I've never related to another man so purely.
I don't. Oh, that's the thing. Like, I've done a bunch of stuff where, like, ever since I made my own dumplings,
No, it's always better.
I literally don't buy store packaged dumplings anymar.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And there's like certain things where like once I've gotten the better thing, I've like I stop consuming the lower end thing, even if it means I don't get whatever it is. Right.
Yeah.
So if like I've had really like, okay, whiskey is like the perfect example where like the more and more I drink whiskey, the more and more I can
Yeah.
tell the difference.
Yeah.
But now that I've had like really, really good whiskey, I haven't bought whiskey since I finished that bottle.
Oh, really?
Because I don't
That
want to
bad?
drink the lower end shit.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, but I think my priority, just especially with food,
Mm-hmm.
is not the same.
Okay.
Like, yeah, homemade whatever is always better. There's better quality products and ingredients, but I just think my standards are so low for what I enjoy. Like, I enjoy bad food
Okay.
that it's
insane.
not like a.
I think this is also the reason why whenever we go out for dinner, I never say, let's go to an Italian place. Because I have such a high standard of quality from my own home life
Yeah.
that there's like maybe one or two restaurants that I would pay for Italian
To
food
go?
at.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And if it's not that, fuck it, let's just go out for whatever, something different.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because I think I'm the same way when it comes to technology. Like once I've experienced something high quality on the tech level, I'm not going back. Right?
Yeah, but what if you made a Windows 98 computer, all right? And you could play all your floppy disk games through DOSBox.
Listen, I'm hovering over that install Windows 11 button right now.
I'm looking at it and they keep telling me that it's like oh, you're not ready because you don't have some like security feature that they want implemented, and I'm like
TPM 2.0.
yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm not putting it on. I'm gonna be stuck here.
You know that's nothing you have to put on.
No, maybe it's not the same. Maybe I'm thinking of something different.
No,
but
I know
there's-
what you're talking about. It's one feature that you actually have to physically go into your BIOS and turn on.
What is it?
TPM.
I don't think it's TPM. I think it's something.
Yours is on? Because usually it's off by default.
My TPM might be on, and there's something else.
Oh, okay.
There's some like safety firewall or like
Firewall.
not firewall. I forget. I have to look at my desktop, and
Okay.
I'll look at it later. But yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm not into it.
But anyways, as I was saying, yeah, once I go up in tech, I'm not going back. Like it's tough.
It's hard. It is hard. True.
Yeah. But cool. Thanks for writing in, Paul, and also,
Yeah, watch Fooly Cooley, watch Donnie Darko.
yeah,
Play
thank
ga-
you, and
play
watch
games-
Firefly.
Yeah, play games on hard mode.
Okay. After you've completed on regular.
Yeah, of course. You want to experience the way it's meant to be experienced.
But I also have to thank Paul for writing in again.
Oh, he wrote in twice.
Uh,
God damn.
His second question is, what is something that you love, but the barrier to entry is so massive that you would still not recommend it to others? If you can't come up with one, what's something that you love that has to have a lot of caveats / asterisks to go alongside your recommendation?
Escape from Tarkov.
Is there really a barrier? Like, what's the barrier to entry?
The barrier to entry is your willingness to just get shit on for 100 hours.
But isn't that like any competitive shooter? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, same thing with fighting games, same thing with MOBAs. Like I try, like I recommend it when I recommend it on the podcast. I recommend it to people who have the same mindset as me.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I'm not like if you're an avid Tetris player, get into Tarkov.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I think if you like playing games in general, like they're all the same, really. At the end of the day,
It's just how many mechanics are you willing
yeah.
to
Like
deal
at
with?
the end of the day, like if the mechanics click with you in one game or another, you'll stick with it. Right? That's it. If you find the gameplay loop addictive, you'll stick with it. Even if you are bad, you're gonna stick with it.
Maybe. All right.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I've definitely like I found like most recently is like Guilty Gear Strive, and
Yeah.
I'm like definitely like, oh yeah, this whole gameplay loop is pretty sick, and like I really enjoy my time playing it. And then like one thing happened where it just destroyed my fun, and I was like, well, goodbye.
Okay, but is that the game's fault or is that someone else's fault?
Someone else's fault. It's that person's fault.
Then I mean, I would say then that it obviously wasn't addictive enough for you to want to
Alright,
get better,
okay, alright.
or like you weren't motivated
That's
enough.
fair, I guess.
Right? Because you get shit on Tarkov all the time. Why do you still play?
Dude, I blast kids in Tarkov. Now. What are
Doesn't
you
matter.
talking
At the
about?
in the first 3 months, were you good?
No, but I had the thing
No.
is I had Tarkov's. I didn't go in by myself. I had
Okay.
like seasoned vets run me
so
through shit.
you had someone walk.
I
you.
had basically had Sherpas.
Okay, fair
Right.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So
all right.
it's hard. It's a hard. Game.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think my obvious one I always talk about is sim racing. It's
Mhm.
just it's too expensive.
It's very
Like-
expensive.
Like unless you know, like it's not something I could say like, oh, just try it out, because there is no trying it out.
It's all or nothing.
Like you commit. So that's just, I guess at the low end you buy a wheel and pedals,
Mm-hmm.
but even those are still
You get the Logitech prepackaged.
yeah,
Yeah,
and those are still like $400. That's a lot of money, right?
Mhm.
Like that's more than a Switch. So I don't know.
What else do I do that I shouldn't recommend to people?
I don't recommend, getting into Gunpla.
Ooh, you're gonna make some people mad, kid.
Model kits are definitely, they're with the trend. They have gone up in price, not significantly, but enough. But then you have to think about all the tools you want to do, and then I guess you can try it out. It's just I don't think you get the real experience of what it can be unless you get one of the more complex kits, and then you choose to go beyond just snapping it together.
You know what you just said? You're like, the real experience of Gunpla doesn't happen unless you start playing on hard.
Exactly. 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 I did say, but this is a whole different thing. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I'm not saying it gets better if
Are
you
you
repeat the
gatekeeping?
kit.
All right.
No.
right.
No. Clear the gates. Clean your gates.
All right.
You don't want those gate.
Don't
marks
get
on
into
your kits.
Gunpla unless you're weathering your pieces and individually painting.
Absolutely.
Oh my! This look his gatekeeper over here. Holy moly!
No, I'm just saying. I think because you know how like there's like those basic kits.
Yeah.
I don't think that like I guess you understand the concept, but when you're done with it, you don't really. I don't think you get it at that level. I don't think you understand what makes it cool.
Like unless you put in your own level of like
yeah,
artistic.
and like the thing is with those
whatever.
smaller kits, there's so much less what do you call it? Scope for customization there.
Yeah.
Or like just what you can do.
Mhm.
That's why I'd say unless you step up to something a bit higher, then
when you start making mocks.
yeah, that's what they're called. I wonder why there isn't a Gundam equivalent. They just call them custom.
What are you talking about? They have the whole. Oh, I guess custom.
Yeah, they call them custom.
Yeah, but like the custom leagues and shit. When people start like,
yeah, but
okay,
like,
this piece is the same make model of this piece, so these kits can work together. So I can make some abomination of.
no,
Gundam
I know,
kits.
but
Yeah.
like they just call them custom, right? That's such a generic word.
Yeah,
I kind of do find the Lego one endearing.
yeah, my own creation.
Yeah, like that's kind of cool. For as lame as it sounds, it's still pretty cool.
I guess we'd have to work on the marketing team. I don't really know what you would call it on a Gundam.
It's a custom. It's my Gunpla custom. That's all it is.
That does.
It
see,
sounds
that-
lame.
No,
Like, it
that
just
sounds pretty cool. Because
No,
like,
it doesn't.
if I saw like, oh, yo, this is the winged custom, I'd be like, oh, custom. Who customized it? What's going on? Like,
But that's
sick.
the thing is that's an actual suit.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But like, you can just make your own suit, make your own name, right, and then add custom at the end.
No, I'm telling you, Wing Gundam.
Custom is an actual legit in canon.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know the one
oh
with-
my god.
You-
Okay.
You know the one with the angel wings?
Yeah, that's custom.
That's Wing Zero custom.
Oh, I thought it was just Wing Zero.
EW.
That was just Wing Zero.
No.
Oh,
Like that's an actual name.
they ruin their
That's
own
why it's like
marketing potential.
and that's not the only one, obviously. There's
Yeah.
many like in canon custom Gundams.
Custom. I don't. Man, what would they do? What would Gundams do?
Anything else you wouldn't recommend anybody or first timers?
First timers.
Don't get into YouTube. It's hard.
Don't get into
It's fucking
YouTube.
hard,
It's a pain in
guys.
the ass. I hate it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
I don't. That's the thing. Like usually stuff, in my experience, stuff that is hard to get into, or like it takes time to get into, is usually worth it.
Is it?
I don't.
I think they're all worth it.
Yeah, like I don't know what I've done really where I've spent a bunch of time struggling through the beginning stages and then being like, yeah, that was dog shit.
I don't know if that's
Cuz like I would say like not getting into it implies that like it's not worth it in the end, right? Unless they mean like
No, I think it's all worth it. It's just that you have to be prepared to go through shit. Like, would you recommend? I guess the equivalent would be like, I recommend Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, but you just have to get through everything else first.
but that's worth it. IMO. Like,
Okay.
like that game is good. That game is very good.
Let's just say the first everything before Endwalker was bad.
if it was bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that then. Yeah.
Right. Like I think that's what he's trying to get at.
Okay.
That, or if maybe there's some sort of like monetary hurdle, or ability hurdle,
Mhm.
or something. Right.
Okay. I don't think I get
Like golf.
golf
fuck
is
that
yo
sport.
golf is insane. Don't, as someone who used to go to golf camp, unless you're rich, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Golf is, it's like a bunch, the people who play it are boring. Like you only play it to like suck up to your boss. Like it sucks, dude. I remember we had a golf charity event at my old job,
Yeah.
and like, dude, the people who go to these charity events, I'm like, yeah, you got a lot of money, but like you're the most
Boring.
dull person I've ever met in my life. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy the overlap of being rich to being boring.
I think when you're rich, though, you have like there's nothing else. You don't have the time to be interesting.
That's why you start the Squid Games.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm down.
Yeah, certain. Yeah, I think the real answer here is just do research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's only so much research you could do, though.
Yeah, and there's only so much time that you have in the day, and you have to realize, like, even if I do recommend something and it is a time sink at the end, like, do you think it is a good use of your time? Like, video game collecting is not very expensive, or at least currently it's getting more expensive.
Okay.
And I see newer kids like on game collecting forums be like, oh, like I'm 14 and like I just learned about the PS2
Yeah.
and I bought a bunch of games or whatever. Is this like a good collection? And I look
Yeah.
at like all the dog shit they bought, like fucking Airblade and Death by Degrees and like all this dog shit. And I'm like, oh, like I know you're getting into it because like you think this is gonna go up like everything else, but like, dude, it ain't. And like it's too late for you. Just stop. Just collect what your current gen is. Like it's the easiest way.
Yo, why you gotta do them like that?
Dude, they're fucking up the market, homie. They're like,
Oh, now I see.
they're
Oh, I see.
yeah, part of it is like you're fucking up the market, but also the other part is just like what you're collecting, and like it you will not have fun with Jet Li's Rise to Honor. All right.
How dare you? That is
Like-
2001's Game of the Year.
Like that game is cool because I grew up when that game came out. And when you see people online being like, yo, Jet Li's Rise to Honor is fucking dope as
It's
shit.
because they're speaking legit
It's
truth.
because they're speaking the gospel, kid. No, it's because they grew up during that age and they have like a bunch of nostalgia that goes towards it. And like they give it some leeway.
Yeah. Kind of like Jet Set Radio.
Yo, suck my. Yeah, you were actually Jet Set Radio. I agree. Jet Set Radio Future.
Same shit.
No, totally different.
Same
Holds
shit.
up. That game's sick as fuck. Right. Yeah, and there's just like a couple things where it's just like chill a bit,
Okay.
right? And don't buy things just because you think it's an investment.
Life is an investment.
I guess it is. I guess that's the truest one. Like life is an investment. Figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you for writing in. Final question for the week is from Joseph Hazel,
What's up, dude?
and he's jonesing for disappointment.
What?
Damn,
dude.
damn. This is off to a banger.
You want to be my pay pig? I could disappoint you a little bit.
Before I read his question, I'm surprised you didn't say One Piece.
What?
I'm surprised you didn't say One Piece.
What do you mean? I think One Piece is worth it. I think One Piece is sick. Get into One Piece. You heard it here first.
No.
Get into One Piece.
I mean, like,
read the manga. Though.
I just mean like the fact that there's so much you have to get through. I'm not saying any of it is bad. I'm just saying that like there's a lot.
I'm the wrong person to ask for that. I'm the person who caught up on 1,000 chapters of Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah, you are.
And that's a good series. And you know what? Read 1,000 chapters of Hajime no Ippo. Shit's awesome.
All right. So what you're telling me is you can't discern when the barrier to entry for something is too high for regular people.
I think that in these specific examples, the barrier to entry is worth the end product.
All right.
Right.
All right. So you wouldn't even sell someone. You'd be like, yeah, just go read it. You just be like,
I would just be like, go read it. It's good.
And then when they find out
it's 1,000 chapters,
they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, it's 1,000 chapters. I'll be like, yeah, it's good. Read it.
You're the worst kind of friend.
Oh, but you know what I wouldn't recommend that on? Like Bleach.
Okay.
Yeah, like that would be like the payoff at the end is not worth the barrier to entry. Like it's not a Smallville season 9-10 thing.
Okay.
All right. Like
okay, fair enough.
Like there's cool power. Like just read the final arc if anything in Bleach and Naruto. Like don't even know there's death gods.
Yeah.
And know there's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That happened before, and that's about it.
Okay.
Right. So there is situation, but I think like One Piece. I just like One Piece enough.
Wow.
So
good to know. All right. Anyways, Joseph's question. So after Anthony's recommendation, I ended up watching Kids on the Slope.
Nice.
Loved the series and actually ended up enjoying the ending okay enough, though I was prepping for the worst after Anthony foretold of its disastrous end.
All right, get him off. Stop reading the question.
My question is, have you ever not gone back to or finished a sequel or later season of something because you were afraid they would end up ruining something that had already ended perfectly? Is it a good thing for studios to take this risk? For instance, Haruhi Suzumiya, my favorite anime, is a favorite of mine. But I've heard 2 is garbage and not gone back to it.
Not great.
Yet the movie is a masterpiece. And had they not taken the risk, we would have missed out.
I think we've answered a question similar to this before.
Yeah. My answer was I will always take the chance to go.
Yeah, if I have enough interest in something, I will always take the chance, even if the general consensus is
it's bad?
It's dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the more recent examples is
Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop, but I didn't finish that. Like The Last of Us 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think The Last of Us 1 is one of the best games, like narratively, ever written.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's so good, and the ending is fucking fantastic, and that whole package is amazing. And Last of Us 2 fumbles that shit so hard.
Yeah.
It's like too long. The whole story doesn't make sense. I don't like. I think the person who consolidated it best was a Nakey Jakey's video on Naughty Dog's game designers outdated. Like his whole video kind of like sums up perfectly what I think about Last of Us 2.
Wow.
And but I would still like if I went back and I was like, hey, you got to experience The Last of Us 2. Like I'm still gonna do it.
For sure.
Right. There are certain things though, like Haruhi season 2, that I haven't watched just because I didn't have enough interest past the first season. It's not because I heard season 2 is bad. I didn't finish season 2 because it was bad, but like I didn't not want to watch it because it's terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I still gave it the chance and it just didn't pan out.
Okay.
I guess there is though, like there is a difference between like something being so bad that I don't do any of the subsequent stuff, right? Like, so I didn't even know there was a Haruhi movie. So because I thought season 2 was so bad, I checked out of that series altogether, and I didn't even know there was a Haruhi movie until like right now.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, but that's like a little different of me like actively avoiding it because I want to preserve the perfect nature of whatever.
Yeah. No. If I really love something, I will consume everything there is related to it. Even if it is bad, or if there's a risk of it being bad, even if it like retroactively ruins the ending of the thing I loved.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's part of the product.
I'll take it. I'll go for it.
Yeah,
give me it.
And honestly, you know what? That's It's a good like life thing.
Yeah.
Go out and try stuff, dude.
Yeah, man.
Go and do it. Even if you think it's not going to be fun, even if it turns out to not be fun, at least you did it.
Yeah, don't
and now you can say definitively it's not fun.
Or it could be awesome.
Or it could be amazing, yes. Right. And that's like one of the, like, get a little bit deep here, like childhood regrets of stuff, where like you sign up for something and then you have one bad experience and then
you quit.
You quit, but it's like, okay, it's just I should have just committed to like at least the thing, right? And
you should have, Anthony. You should have committed.
I should have committed to art class, summer art camps. You know.
Damn.
I know.
Oh well.
And stuff like that. So, I don't know. I know media is just like some offhanded thing, right? It's not really important in the grand scheme of things.
How dare you?
But yeah, I don't know. Just take just like these studios are taking the risk, like you mentioned. Like just take the risk.
How dare you say media is not important,
dude?
Mr. Video Game Collector.
Yeah, I collect video games because
they're art.
They are art.
They're media.
But art in the hierarchy of needs is a luxury.
Is it?
Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
You know what life luxuries are?
What?
Water, home.
Water is I need to drink water every year else I die.
As I said, it's a need.
Yeah, it's a need.
Water,
home, shelter, food,
anime.
What about anime titties?
That's part of the anime
collective.
It's just
in there.
Come on. Okay, that also includes hentai. But
all forms?
All forms.
Damn, ugly bastard. Necessary.
Take what I can get.
All right.
All right?
Okay, yeah. If there's a hentai drought and all I got is ugly bastard hentai, I will partake.
Absolutely. Hit me with the NTR, let's just go.
Dude, I don't understand why people like NTR.
I don't understand why people don't like NTR.
What? So like I've read some NTR.
Yeah.
Some pornography.
Can you define what NTR is for the audience?
NTR is an acronym, never to return. Okay. And basically the story revolves around like usually it's like a happy couple.
Yeah.
Right. And then something happens to where one of the characters has to be unfaithful to the other person.
Yeah.
And then the story continues into degeneracy to where the person who has been corrupted enjoys the degeneracy and then never returns to the original partner.
Absolutely.
Right. And so there's stuff that happens to both
they
male
found their
and
true
female.
calling in
yeah,
life.
just to be an absolute horny cum slut.
There you go.
But like I've read a couple and I'm like, you know what? There's like some like baller ass sex scenes in here because like the whole thing, like it's the enthusiasm of when they get like into it and you're like, oh, that's cool. They enjoy it, good for them. But like the end product of just like I'm getting turned on by the fact that my wife left me. And I'm like, how fucking psychologically broken are you? Like, why?
Wait, your wife left you?
No, like, well, because usually how...
Because, like, when I watch, I don't think that's my wife.
Oh, so, but usually those stories are set up in a way where they want to insert you into, like, blank male protagonist.
Maybe I haven't been watching it correctly, because that's not how I view it.
So, yeah, like, usually, like, in hentai, where it's, like, blank male protagonist, right? It's an insert character.
Oh, no, but, like, I've seen the ones where they have, like, they're a full character. I know
yeah, okay,
about.
Those ones exist, too, but I'm just saying in general.
Oh,
right?
I guess, yeah, I've never... You know what? I've never done that, where it's, like, I've imposed myself on any of the characters in there. I've always been like, sucks for you, buddy.
Oh, you're just God's eye.
Yeah,
just splooging.
Absolutely, right. That's what it is. I'm looking at other people's lives through a screen, through a window.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited by the twists and turns that are taken.
Okay, all right, that's one way to look at it.
But to be honest, I think it's specifically hentai only. I do not care for vanilla. Like, at all.
That's, like, not the medium for it.
Exactly.
Like, why are you watching drawings if you're just going to go missionary?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I want vanilla,
Jesus,
I watch real porn.
You just watch pornography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know. How did you get on this topic?
I don't know. We just somehow looped it around to hentai. Hentai was a need.
Oh,
it was anime was a need. And then that includes
titties.
hentai, and then anime titties, and then ugly bastard.
Absolutely.
And then you said NTR, and then that was the train of thought. All right, we got there.
Sick. Well, make my sick segue to picks of the week.
Tell me all about your horny pay pig activities.
So Batman.
the horniest of pay pigs, Batman.
I had a new trailer with the Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some NTR.
Well, the movie's called The Batman.
Yes. So it's the second trailer, but I think it's like a more feature rich trailer.
Yeah, I think the one I brought up during the awards show was just the teaser.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one is absolutely focused around Catwoman and Batman, and they show some more cool stuff.
Bro, I honestly thought that chick was Halle Berry when she showed up.
The Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because the Catwoman played Halle Berry?
Well, Halle Berry played Catwoman in the older Batman movies.
I don't think she was in a Batman movie.
Did she play was the Catwoman a standalone movie?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that sucks, dude. Damn. Big oof.
Yeah. There was no Batman at the time when
Okay.
she had a movie.
But yeah, so I looked at this girl and I was like, you got like Halle Berry features.
Absolutely. She looked like Halle Berry.
Yeah, I got fucked up for a second, and I was like, okay, that's not Halle Berry. But
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, a movie looks sick as ever, coming out March 4th. I think there's just a bit more emphasis on the Riddler knowing now. I think it's confirmed the Riddler knows who Batman is.
doesn't he usually know, but he doesn't reveal it because it's not fun? Isn't that like his whole gimmick?
I don't know. I don't know if
Wasn't
it's
that
that
in
or
the
the
Arkham
Joker.
games?
Maybe. Oh yeah, it's in the Arkham games. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And all the riddles are like, if you don't solve it, your
Kill you.
identity is gonna be revealed.
Something like that. Anyways, yeah, it looks super cool.
All right.
March 4th, IMAX only.
If we can go to movies,
Oh, I'll make it happen.
I'll get there.
I'll make it so.
Is it on HBO Max?
Yeah, April 26th.
Wait, actually?
April 26th.
Oh, I was just joking.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. So about just under 2 months later, if you want to watch it at
Dude,
home.
the more and more these streaming services try and fight for like my money,
Yeah.
the more and more I'm like, HBO Max seems like the way to go. They
You
got
think so?
so many good movies on there.
Yeah,
Or at least every time I hear about something that I am interested in watching, it's like, and also on HBO Max.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. They all. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I think the only one I'm sub to is Disney Plus.
You're not even sub to Netflix anymore?
Oh no, yes, Netflix. But I feel like Netflix is just not like the
Standard. When you're born, they give you a credit card and it has
Yeah.
a fucking Netflix subscription on it.
Yeah, I
Right.
feel like if you don't have Netflix in 2022, what are you even?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, that was that. And then the second trailer I want to talk about is for this game called Valorant.
Never heard of it.
They have a new character.
Is this an indie game?
That's the most indie.
Okay.
The most indie, some would say. They have a new character by the name of Neon.
Interesting.
And her big gimmick is she can sprint. And I know that sounds like that's so kind of boring.
Dude.
You cannot sprint in Valorant.
Yeah. This is a character specific.
Yeah.
Like the most movement that game has is jet dashes and raise C4 hops.
Yeah, but this girl can sprint and slide.
Dude, that's crazy.
Like,
That's so nuts.
She is Call of Duty.
In the context of Valorant,
Yeah.
that's insane. Imagine playing Counter-Strike, but I had one guy on one team
Yeah.
had Call of Duty mobility.
Absolutely.
Like that's nuts.
That's crazy.
Her fucking double firewall where she just makes like a line to run down.
This is wild.
Like what?
Wild.
And then her ultra is just like a
Finger gun?
electric finger gun.
So she's Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of lame, but
Yeah, Hakusho is like.
yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is kind of lame.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no, it looks cool. And it's making me like, maybe I should play Valorant.
Dude, don't give China your information, dude.
I already have. I've played Valorant already.
Oh my god.
Listen, the whole privacy protection thing sailed for me a long time
Damn,
ago.
kid. Just give it all. Just get your social credit score account now.
At the end of the day, like, do I want to be part of the modern world or not?
No.
Then get rid of your phone.
Cling to the
Why are you
old.
on this podcast?
What are you talking about?
Man.
I'm anonymous. Nobody knows who I am.
Fuck. Jeez.
No, there's just certain levels that creep me out.
Yeah, I get it. I know it's not black and white,
Mhm.
but also at the same day or time, it is. It's either you give it or
What?
you don't.
What? Bruh, you're getting into dangerous territory with talking like that, dude.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Damn.
The other thing that's happened this week is that it is CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, where all the coolest tech for the year is revealed.
Okay.
Let's start at TVs and screens.
So boring.
Everyone knows what OLED is. It's the hot TV display type to buy.
Yeah, OLED 1080p,
Get out of here.
120 hertz,
There's no
144 hertz.
What?
Yeah,
It's 4K.
no, 1080p.
No one makes
That's
a 1080p
fully-
panel anymore.
I bought one like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I said no one makes it anymore.
It can't be that fat. Come on.
Dude, you know how cheap you can get a 4K panel for?
How much?
Like $300.
Dude, what, for real?
Yeah. You know how big it is?
How big?
Like 55.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's an LED. It's not OLED.
Trash.
But if you just need a big TV with a big res, yeah.
Damn. That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, they showed off new technologies from Samsung, and it is Quantum Dot.
Quantum Dot's been out for a while, I
No.
feel, but it's been like top end shit.
No.
What are you talking about? I've seen Quantum Dot TVs for like 5 years.
You've seen Quantum Dot TVs for 5 years?
Samsung has had Quantum Dot technology out as a thing, but it's only been on their like super ultra crazy top end TVs.
So it's not consumer level.
You could buy it, I guess.
Because the top end consumer is the wall, which is I think micro LED.
Quantum Dot's been out for a while.
Like the technology existed, but
Yeah.
not in a consumer level way. At least not in the way they're using for these panels.
Okay, maybe not for what you're talking about right now.
like Quantum Dot OLED.
I swear, or maybe Quantum Dot LED is
I mean,
different.
Samsung has had QLED, which is
Is that not?
no.
I swear to God, there's been
QLED's not even
technology.
OLED.
I'm looking up the Wikipedia page. Go for it.
All right. Anyway, so they have these new TVs, and
Right.
the one thing you need to know is that they have all the picture quality of an OLED, but they have the brightness of an LED. So it's best of both worlds. It's pretty cool, highly expensive. But the bigger news is that this technology is probably going to be the platform where you can get PC monitors, and that's more exciting.
Nice.
Because right now, if you want to get a cool gaming monitor, you basically have no choice but some shitty LCD panel with technology from, a decade ago. Everyone
That's all you need, baby.
like the most technology you have on your panels right now, or the decisions you have are do you want IPS or VA, and that's like LED TVs or LCD monitors, which is kind of whatever. It's great for response time and color accuracy, I guess, but they don't give you the best picture, right? They don't give you they don't give you the super bright images, the contrast that like people want from entertainment.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first consumer level television with Quantum Dot technology was in 2013.
Quantum Dot, but is it Quantum Dot OLED?
I don't know if OLED was a thing here. Oh God, I'm not gonna look through this Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Shit.
But anyways, it's coming. So if you're in the market for a TV, just wait a year.
Ooh, LED, not OLED. LED.
No one can hear you.
Oh, sorry, LED, not
Yeah.
OLED.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's where the technology's at. So yeah, that's where the TVs are. So expect some cool gaming monitors to come out too. All very expensive, none of which anyone can afford for another year or two. But
All right.
it's cool that it's on the way.
But what if
What?
you took out a loan?
No.
Okay.
No. But to stack on the Samsung showed off their new, I guess, monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And they've basically Samsung is known for making these like super wide 49-inch
Yeah.
monitors.
16 by 50 widescreen.
It's 32 by 9.
Whatever, same thing. Who cares?
Wow. They've made another one, and I think this is. I want to say that this is not. It's not 32 by 9. I think it's 21 by 9. So
Okay.
still pretty narrow. But wide. But the draw here is that it's called the Arc because you can flip it vertically. And so it equates to having, I think, 3 24-inch monitors stacked on top of each other.
Just vertically up.
Vertically, but in a curve or an arc that goes over you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to crank your neck to see everything.
I guess that's like the good way to get like reverse gamer neck.
Yeah, so I don't know, like I can't think of a use case for like I get using the bottom one for gaming and then the middle one for like if you want your chat or your OBS or whatever. But then the very, very top, what do you put there?
All right, I'm gonna list a video game that would work perfectly.
Oh no,
Right.
I already know where you're going.
Ikaruga. Okay? Vertical shoot 'em ups. Just curved all the way up.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like
Right?
it's cool. What's the market like for that though? Like,
Me. That's it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
the market.
because the other one, like they're super ultra wide. It's
Yeah.
great for like FPS, FOV, or racing games.
Yeah, yeah,
But to go vertical,
Yeah, but what if I want to play cave games from the 90s?
yeah, I don't know if those nerds have enough money.
True. Yeah, true. Not gonna lie, you might be right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. And then CyberPower announced their first kinetic case.
This is so dumb. This is the dumbest thing
So
that you showed me.
most PC cases have a mesh front panel or a closed front panel,
Yeah.
depending on what you want.
Mhm.
CyberPower said, "Why not both?"
It's not mesh.
You're right. It's opening panels. So usually the case is closed, and then when it gets really hot and needs more airflow, the front panel
Like
has slots
detects-
opens.
Yeah.
It's all done through your motherboard's temperature. But the thing is the design the I guess the highlight here is the design they've decided to go with.
Mhm.
It's done in triangular honeycomb like patterns.
Mhm.
So it activates a lot of people's what's that fear? Tryptophobia?
Tryptophobia, where you got fear of holes or whatever.
Over like the honeycomb pattern.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it looks like.
It does.
And sucks if that's what you got what you're afraid of.
Yeah.
But I think it looks cool. I think the idea is cool. I don't think this case is something I would necessarily be into, but
This trailer or reveal or whatever the fuck it was,
yeah.
this had the most marketing jargon out of
Yeah.
any of the things you showed. And it also had the dumbest justifications.
I feel like you've never watched an Apple event.
I haven't.
Oh,
I haven't, right?
Okay.
Whenever I hear about Apple news, it's from you, or
Oh.
I read it like an Ars Technica article.
You should watch an Apple event.
No,
You should.
no, I'm good.
You should
I'm good.
watch an Apple event.
But like the justifications they said for this case are so insane, right? And remember, it's only the front panel,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like the whole case is like dynamically venting where the hottest points are. It's just the front.
Yeah, but I mean that makes sense because that's where the fans are.
It could be where the fans are, but what if
Like,
you had
why would you want an opening on a part that like most cases have a tempered glass panel,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
no air going in that way. Like, there's no fans to be sucking. Like, why would you want that to open?
What if they had some actual ingenuity there and they had like a side panel with fans, or they did something, right? There's no reason why I would choose this over just a standard mesh panel.
To flex,
Other
bro.
than to flex.
That's the whole point.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's flexing to the extreme. Like it's flexing
wait.
to a point where if you had one, I would actively make fun of you for it.
And I don't get it. Was that a burn?
Yeah, like it's extremely wasteful.
Okay.
And like I don't know, it's like an innovation where this is like some real petty shit. Like it's an innovation where like I hope that they aren't like rewarded for their efforts.
I mean, it's like they said, this is their first product in a line of kinetic products.
Okay, hopefully something cool comes out of it.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I wouldn't buy it, but I think the idea is cool.
If you showed me this and you're like, "Oh, this is a prototype," I'd be like, "Sick."
No, but we all start. Like everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
And some people deserve to fail.
Wow.
All right. All right.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. All right. So you don't like it.
I don't like it.
All right.
I don't like it.
How about I talk about graphics cards?
Graphics cards are cool.
How about I talk about the PC industry? What's going on? Because
It's like-
they were because obviously Intel, AMD are the big players.
Yeah,
And
nobody
they-
can buy graphics cards.
Yeah. And they had a couple announcements. So if you're in the market to build a PC,
Mm-hmm.
I would say wait till next year. Like if you want to build a desktop PC, wait till next year because this year both Intel and AMD have released their same processors, but added a couple letters and numbers on the end and boosted
Nice.
them a bit.
Okay.
They've basically made like the Type R versions of their high
The car
chips.
analogy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I think Intel's like
the
remember-
Nismo version.
pretty much like
All
Intel's
right.
like we got the 12900 KS.
Ooh, S stands for speed.
But I like the AMD one because they're like we got that 5800 X3D.
Oh my god, get out of here.
Yeah, and they're both claiming to be the fastest gaming processors, but whatever, who cares about that? However, if you are planning to buy a laptop, this
Mhm.
is the year to go
Really?
because for some reason both companies focused on laptops. They have new chips for the laptops, and the big thing that's interesting is not necessarily the high end, but the super low end.
Okay.
Because what they've done now is they've given you chips that are very efficient and powerful, but they give you like super long battery life.
Ooh.
And integrated graphics has now gotten to a point where you might not actually need a GPU to run modern games.
So you're telling me I was 2 years early on buying this laptop?
Kinda.
Fuck.
As in, like, if you want to play games at 1080p on your laptop at like a manageable 30 to 60 FPS,
Yeah.
you can do it on integrated graphics.
Wow.
Like modern games.
Okay.
Or esports titles, we'll say, right? But still, like, that's
How
crazy.
fast can I play Cookie Clicker?
Probably 800 frames a second.
Hell yeah, it has so many cookies.
And then as for graphics cards, NVIDIA showed up and was like, so you know that 3090 that no one can buy or that 3080 that no one can buy?
Yes.
How about we introduce you one more, even more expensive?
4,000.
So they introduced the 3090 Ti with the base price, US.
Oh, hold on. I want to try the over under this.
All right.
I'm gonna say, how much is the 3090 flat?
$14.99.
14. I'm gonna go. This is like 2,100.
You're pretty much bang on.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good at prices right. Oh baby.
But that's NVIDIA's price.
Oh okay. All right.
So that's like the reference card price.
What's like the EVGA, whatever that fucking
EVGA?
brand? Yeah. What's the EVGA?
EVGA is usually the cheapest, but
Right.
like if you want the expensive ones, like the
What's the MSI price?
the MSI or the Gigabyte, whatever,
Yeah.
the Asus, who knows? You're probably looking at like 2,500 US.
Oh.
So, which is kind of a shitty move considering no one can buy graphics cards, and here they are being like, let's introduce one even more expensive.
Yeah, I listened to this announcement and I'm like, an extra, who cares? Because you can't even buy the regular ones. So what does
Yeah.
it matter?
It's weird because when I built my PC last year,
Mm-hmm.
NVIDIA was at that point where they're like, we're all about value, trying to get you the most bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
Here's like the card I bought. It was like $500, power of the PS5 in your hands.
Mhm.
And now they're just like, who cares? We'll only try and make the most expensive ones.
I think it's one of those things where right now the market is so hot.
Yeah.
Like it's so extremely hot that no matter what they put out, it's going to sell out.
Yeah.
So why not put out the thing that is like the biggest profit margin for them?
You're not wrong, because like I've been walking into our local computer store and I've been looking and like,
Where are they?
You know what always comes in? 3080 Ti.
Yeah.
You know what always sells out? 3080 Ti.
3080
And I'm like,
Tis.
how are people spending like justifying, $1,700 for this?
Right. And
But-
you can blame like scalpers and flippers
Yeah.
and stuff like that too.
But then they were still buying them.
But at the end of the day, they're still supporting
Yeah.
the market, right? And even if you're not flipping it, right, and you do want it for a gaming PC,
Yeah.
you're still contributing to
Yeah.
just constant sellouts. Like outside of Canada Computers near my house, there's a sign there that says like call in for when graphics card restocks come, and they take you have to come in with a valid ID, so you can only buy one at a time. And if like you can only buy one per household.
Yeah,
So
for
if you have
sure.
multiple people in your house, like you're not getting like 4 graphics cards,
Yeah.
you're getting one,
Yeah.
right? And it's such a crazy hot market that I don't know. It's cool given the context of the situation, like of the economic situation around technology.
Yeah.
This is just a shitty announcement.
Yeah, for sure.
It's less cool than it probably could be.
Yeah. They also announced their like entry level card. Their what is it, 3050 for $250?
You probably can't even buy that.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. AMD on the other hand announced that they have like a slightly modified version of their top end card, but their bigger surprise is that they introduced a budget card.
Okay.
It's $199.
Okay.
And but the most impressive thing is it's built on the RDNA 2 platform. If that sounds familiar, that's the same graphics platform that's in the Series X and the PS5.
Oh yeah.
It's obviously not built to the same bulk as those consoles, but the idea is that it's about the same as the Series S.
That's still pretty powerful.
So like you can basically get next gen game or current gen games at 1080p. You're good to go. But the great thing about this one is that because it's built on a different like physical chip size,
mm-hmm.
it doesn't fall into the same category as the other cards being currently out of stock.
Oh,
So this is something that's super affordable.
So it's like a new logistics line.
Yeah, and
That's
they're
pretty
saying that
cool.
it should be in stock, like
Regular.
readily available.
Nice.
It'll be available in 2 weeks, so that's also a possibility if you're thinking you maybe got an older computer and you want to do like a mid-tier upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely worth looking at. But yeah, that was pretty cool from AMD. They also hinted that like come the end of this year, we're gonna show you our brand new processors. And when I say brand new, I mean they're making a jump, as in there's no back compatibility. Like you're getting everything new. Like I'm currently on Ryzen. None of my shit will work with.
Oh, really? Like
like
you need a new motherboard. You're gonna need everything.
Yes.
Damn.
So like they've and Intel did theirs late last year. So like yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're thinking about building a PC, wait till the end of the year.
Okay.
See what your options are. Should be pretty cool.
How are gaming laptops now that were on the?
They're
topic?
so awesome now.
Yeah.
I don't mean like the top end ones.
Mm-hmm.
They look like
a Razer or whatever.
Yeah. They don't look like the behemoth things.
They don't.
They look like your XPS.
It's pretty fucking thin.
That's what they look like now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But like the crazy thing now is like if you buy like those super ultra thin end lights,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the low end chips in those are supposed to be able to do, like integrated graphics. Like that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. So this is the year to buy a laptop instead of building a PC.
GamingLaptops.com.
And then my last ones are a few. Oh no, sorry. We have to talk about PSVR 2. They announced
Yes.
it's a thing. No release date.
It's VR. They got knuckle controllers.
Yeah.
They showed off a new Gorilla game.
Yeah. The thing that I was waiting for was them to just tell me Gran Turismo 7 support, and I'm in.
Not yet.
But they haven't said anything.
It'll probably be there.
That's all I really want, because that's really, honestly, that's all I would use it for. But then my last three things are just fun ones from Razer, who I think absolutely stole the show with the dumb shit that they announced.
last one is cool.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, they have a watch, and they've partnered with Fossil
Mm-hmm.
to make a smartwatch. And it does your standard smartwatch things. The only difference is it's got Razer branding.
You can control your LEDs from your watch, baby.
Yeah, but whatever. It probably shows your gaming potential. I know. I don't know.
It's got the human benchmark test in the watch.
Like, I'm sure it has some cool gaming. I didn't look into it. I just saw, okay, Razer Fossil smartwatch, cool. I'm sure. Like, that's probably an untapped market, right?
Okay.
The next thing is Razer has a new chair. I think it's called is it the Anki series?
This thing is so dumb.
Oh, no, it's
my
cool.
God.
It's cool.
It's so
The
stupid.
Razer Anki Pro HyperSense. And it's your standard gaming chair, except they've put in haptic feedback in the base. And they've also added like mini D-box so that the chair goes side to side.
Side to side, it rumbles.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So dumb. It's so extra.
No, it's like immersion. It's immersion. It's pretty cool.
They got LEDs in the headrest.
Okay, that's the only part that's really dumb.
LEDs in the headrest.
Because you're never gonna see it. Like that's literally just for streamers.
That's how they beam it into your skull.
Yeah.
Whatever 5G chip they got.
But because I bought the same thing for my racing rig, right?
Yeah,
The butt kicker, the transducer, and that's what this is. So like I'm all for it. I think it's great. I've tried it with FPS, and it's really cool when you like feel the rumble from a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But to have it built into like an all-in-one platform on your chair is cool. The one thing I didn't really look into was where's the cord and how long is that cord?
It's got to be power. What if it's just a big ass battery?
Or is it wireless?
What? How would it be wireless?
Like it's just a signal.
Oh, I guess like if it's battery and wireless, like
But then
you have to charge your chair.
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue. Like, there's no way a battery can be that long. But like, if you look at the base of the chair, it's gigantic.
Yeah, it's huge.
So
it's
like,
huge.
but
it's like if you look at the bottom of an office chair, it's like it has a growth like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb product. Oh my god,
I love it.
I hate.
I mean, I don't think the color's great, but
this whole thing. The whole CES like section of what you were showing us made me realize like I'm an old man now.
yeah, because you don't like anything.
I like things.
No, you
I just like
don't.
them when they're cool.
No, you just like them when they're like for some reason you've turned into I don't want change. Why do things have to change?
Listen. I love change.
No, you don't.
What are you talking about?
You're like, why can't things stay the same?
No, it's not what I don't say that. I just I hate it when change is superfluous.
But how will you know if something's superfluous unless you tried it?
I can tell.
Oh,
Right? I've been
you're that
around
asshole.
the block.
Wow,
all
you're
right?
that. You're younger than me, and you're gonna tell me that?
Listen,
Wow.
I know better than these kids.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. The last thing they showed off is Razer's Project Sophia, and this is their modular gaming desk. And I know that sounds like the most boring thing, but trust
this
me,
is the coolest
it's
thing.
so fucking
It's so
cool.
sick.
So you've all probably seen on YouTube, people have custom desks where they built the PC into the desk.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what this is. Only every component is modular. So you could take out, like, you could hot swap your board, your graphics card, the screen. You could add speakers, add key lights. You could magnetize webcams and boom arms for your mics. It just seems so cool and so what I expect from a modern gaming setup. Like, I can't believe like this is not a thing yet. But at the same time, I look at this desk and I think to myself, there's no fucking way they can make this happen. Because it looks
it's project.
too cool.
Yeah, it's project.
It's
right?
called Project Sophia.
It's not a real thing.
Like, maybe they'll make it and it'll be way too expensive to justify.
It's so cool though.
But it is so cool.
Modular desk. I'm about that life.
Yeah, no,
and that's innovation. That's really sick. All right, and I can tell from.
So like, but like, why wouldn't you like the chair?
Because listen, do we buy D-Box movie tickets?
Yeah.
No, we don't. No. When's the last time we saw a D-Box movie? Like 5 years ago. Like when the technology came out, and then we watched a Fast and the Furious movie in it, and we're like, yeah, this is dumb.
I just bought it for my racing rig. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's different.
That's the same shit.
No. You're not like, so the setup you have for your gaming, your racing rig is strict. That's immersion.
Yeah.
Like the way that is all set up, you're like nice and cozy in that chair or whatever. You're never going to get the same amount of quality of haptic feedback in that gaming chair that you are in that racing chair.
Okay, let me say it this way. Chair plus VR.
I would still take that. The bucket seat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I still think it's cool. Like if you could feel rumble from an explosion, if you can like,
I think it's just too in the middle.
But it's also consumer level. Like it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Listen, the market's wrong.
Wow.
Right? We've gone through this before.
You're not even gonna try. Like you're just gonna deny it out of the
I'm
gate.
not gonna buy it.
Wow.
If you buy one, I'll definitely sit in your
No,
chair.
you won't be allowed to sit in it. Because I'll remember this conversation and be like, fuck this shit. And I'm like, okay, fine. You'll never sit in my chair.
I'll definitely sit in the chair.
No, you
all right?
won't.
I'll find it somewhere.
No,
It'll be
you
at
won't.
like a Best Buy, and I'll have it set up, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll sit in the chair. I'll try it.
All right.
But I'm just telling you, even before I sit in it, it's not gonna be good.
Wow. Such a hate.
I'm telling you right now.
What's with the hate?
I'm
2022
not
is all about the hate.
I'm a realist, all right?
Wow. No, you're not a realist.
2022 is the year of hate, okay?
No.
It's my New Year's
You know what a
resolution.
realist is?
What?
A lying pessimist.
Kinda. A little bit. All right, 2022 is I gotta hate more things.
Whoa.
There's too much love in this world, all right? And I need to balance it out.
I would disagree with that.
All right?
But okay.
There's too much like hippie love and peace bullshit. No, I'm just joking.
Okay, I'll continue with the love you and peace.
All right.
Anyways, those are all my picks. I feel like I talked a lot. So what do you got?
Okay, so let's continue on the technology front. All right.
Okay.
And we got some government news. Some politics, all right? The government of France has fined Google and Facebook over cookie tracking. So the EU, I think, was it last year or a couple years ago? They basically made it law where it's like you have to allow people to opt out of cookies, right? If they don't want their data collected, you need to allow them that option, or else you just cannot have a website in Europe.
Fair enough.
And all the companies were like, "Oh shit, my bad." like we'll do it.
Yeah.
So that happened, and you've probably noticed on certain websites where some websites are like, "Do you want to reject these cookies or accept all?" And it's like an easy one button, right?
Just necessary.
Or it can be like other websites where it's like the accept all is very easy, but then if you want to deny any sort of cookies, you have to go through like 3 separate steps, right?
Yes.
So France has sued Google and Facebook 150 million, or not sued, fined. So it's just a straight up fine. 150 million euros and 60 million euros respectively, because they do not allow an ease of access for rejection in the same way that they do acceptance of cookies.
Okay.
And the France government has basically said that like the way you've built this out is still predatory on consumers, especially people who are maybe elderly, don't really know how to get through your hoops and stuff. Like, and people have done this before. I think Hassan Minhaj had a whole thing about TurboTax and how to actually use the free version of TurboTax, it keeps looping you back to like tricking you into accepting what they want you to accept, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Right. And so, yeah, it's just they're getting fined by the government for like shady cookie practices. I think this is good news in general for just ease of use of websites and data tracking. And like, it's one of those things where like, as we move forward and technology becomes more and more an integral part in our life, people are starting to understand like how important, and thankfully legislators are realizing how important like individuals' datas are and how valuable it is.
Right.
Right. So I think that was a feel good story. I liked it.
You felt good?
I felt good when I
Cool.
You know, look, you got fined for being shitty. Good for you.
Okay.
You love to see them get knocked down a peg, you know?
Wow.
But you know who else is getting knocked down a peg? China.
Oh.
So last year, China announced their new gaming regulations. So people under 18, they can't game at all on weekdays. And if you're under 18, you can game on the weekend, I think Saturday, Sunday, for 1 hour between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
That's wild.
And that's it.
Who's playing between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.?
On a Sunday, on a school night? Pff, not my kids. All right? They're playing 1 hour a week. Because everything there is like tied to your social credit score. So they have your information when you log in. You have like a nation login, right? Like, imagine to get to your passport, you had to log into your account like that. And everything is tracked through there. But what also happened in that whole thing is that China has frozen all basically new approvals of video games and video game studios. So now if you want to create a video game studio, you need to be approved by the government in order for that studio to take off. And because they've been so lagging behind on approval requests, over 14,000 gaming studios in China have shut down.
Damn.
Because
there's that many studios?
So China also had an issue, I think I read this maybe like a couple months ago, where they had so many electric car companies that the government had to come in and say, no, these are the people who are allowed to make electric car like technologies, and everyone else shut down because there's too many.
Wow.
It's
a little.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. They haven't like updated their list since like July of last year, and this news story is coming out of gamesindustry.biz, so it's a pretty respectful source
For sure.
But that's so crazy to me that like usually I guess it's like they're coming from like a strictly capitalist society where it's just like the more of anything is better always.
Yeah.
And then seeing this news that is like the polar opposite of like the government is restricting the possibility of income into their country because it doesn't align with like government goals and values and stuff. It's kind of crazy news, but I didn't realize that 14,000 studios have been shut down because of this.
Yeah, that's a lot of studios. I had no idea there was that many.
Yeah, it also makes sense for now why Tencent and Alibaba and like all these other big Chinese conglomerates are
Getting out.
And it's not that they're getting out of China because they can't, because they'll die or they get disappeared, but it's they literally can't do business in that space anymore because there's not any sort of like up and comers, because the government is not like, it's like, nah, dog, video games are the devil.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe at a certain point they're right.
Whoa.
Whoa, no. But yeah, I think that was a really cool story. If you want to read more about it, again, it's on gamesindustry.biz.
Okay.
It's a really interesting story about the government like basically approving what can be made and what can't be made.
Wild.
Yeah, and why Chinese mega corporations are buying up all the Japanese company. Final Fantasy 16. Remember that trailer?
Yeah.
Delayed.
I thought we talked about this.
Did we? Did we
yeah,
talk about
and
this?
you told me, you specifically said,
Yeah.
would it be a Final Fantasy game without a delay?
See, that's okay. This is one of the games. This is one of the ones where I was like,
Because this was
I-
like
I
early
couldn't-
December news.
so this thing, it says, maybe it's been updated since then because this is December 27th when this story
no,
came
this is
out.
definitely earlier. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they've delayed it more now
Oh.
because they've delayed it almost half a year. They're saying 6 months probably now.
No, that was the original.
Okay, then I don't know why is it posted twice? I don't know. I saw it in the thing and I was like, it's got to be new. All right.
Okay.
Never trusting this website again. Oh God. Team Reptile, the guys behind Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, the Jet Set Radio Future game.
Okay. Yeah.
Came out with a new move style teaser.
What?
They're making Tony Hawk, guys. They're making Tony Hawk.
Oh, is that what this was?
Dude, so they put like a trick system and like a combo system in this game. Or like if you remember Jet Set Radio Future, it's like get on the rail, you magnetize, and you grind for as long as the rail is.
Sure.
And you just do flips and cool stuff.
Yeah.
Right? In this one, they added, they hinted at skateboards before, but they showed off skateboarding gameplay. They showed off the rollerblading gameplay. They added BMX bikes into it. And now they have like combo systems where you can do a bunch of tricks and then you get score multipliers and you can like boost into wall rides like midair and like do a bunch of wild shit. It's like they put Tony Hawk in Jet Set Radio Future, and I'm all about it, baby. It looks so sick. I want this game to come out.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool. You know why? Because it is cool.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Jeez. So aggressive.
And then I guess the last one I had was Konami.
Oh, your favorite.
Remember Konami?
Yeah.
Remember when they used to make video games?
Remember when they made Pachinko?
Yeah, remember when they made Pachinko? Remember when they remastered Metal Gear Solid 3 for the Pachinko?
That was your
scene?
favorite. That's the ultimate collectible.
God damn.
That's the ultimate Metal Gear
Absolute
collectible.
dog shit. Actually, you know what? If I could buy a Metal Gear Solid 3 Pachinko machine, I might.
I think you would.
I think I would. So Konami, being hit hard because COVID shut down all their gambling situations, are coming back. And we talked about them before. I think they were either announcing some new project or they're doing some remasters or remakes,
Okay.
I believe. But now they're getting into the blockchain game.
Good for them.
No, bad Konami, okay? So to celebrate Castlevania's 35th anniversary, we are not getting a new game. We are not getting a remastered collection. We are getting Castlevania NFTs.
Gotta go with the times.
Bro,
Gotta go with the
so
times.
shitty. Oh my God. What a dog shit company.
I would-
Holy moly.
The thing is, like, do you think it's Konami specifically? Because I feel like NFTs and the whole, like, mentality behind it is such a Japanese thing.
So that brings me to the next thing.
Yeah.
So Square Enix
Oh,
president,
of course, fucking Square.
fucking Square Enix, their president says that the blockchain will be a quote major strategic theme in
fuck me.
2022. So
It's begun. It's begun. Because, I mean, like, yeah, Japanese, like, they've made all the weebs fucking pay for JPEGs.
you know what the Japanese love? Collecting stuff. Look at and you're right. Gotchas are the perfect example.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing 10 pulls on the chance to get a JPEG.
Yeah, now you can just buy one.
Now, what if you owned the unique version of that JPEG on a public ledger that can't be cheated?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
so for those that don't know, the blockchain, it's a very complicated public ledger, right? So it's a list of transactions that is available to the public, and anybody who uses a blockchain wallet on whatever network it is, like you have
Yeah.
your own specific wallet ID, and if someone knows your wallet ID, they can look at what you've bought,
Yeah, what you
right?
own.
what you own, basically, what digital assets you have.
Yeah.
And having spoken to you about how CEOs and people in senior management look at NFTs
Yeah.
and they're like, blockchain, that sounds cool, just do it, makes me think that none of these gaming companies have thought out what the fuck to do with any of this shit yet.
I mean, it looks like an easy source of revenue.
It does, most definitely. Like all the NFT bro, and maybe this is like in the same vein as the Nvidia announcement, where they're like, here's the super ultra high end graphics card that only ultra mega rich people are gonna afford, right?
Yeah.
And so they announce NFTs to the public, a Castlevania NFTs to the public, and then hoping that the public is like, cool, I can buy an NFT, but really it's just gonna be the fucking crazy NFT investors who are buying like a $50,000 NFT of Alucard.
Yes.
And I kind of hate it. I kind of hate this like whole move towards just appealing to the mega rich and to like the 1% of consumer, when the thing that made you is the 99%, or even lower, like the bottom like 50%.
Yeah.
Bottom
Bottom 50% have no money though.
Collectively they got enough money and like presence to make your thing popular.
I mean, if it goes down to monetary concerns, I don't think so.
I guess.
Like
I guess.
if we are heading towards a future where the amount of transactions will decide your fate, then I'm not relying on my pure fan base that's got no income.
I guess. And so that's one of the things.
To be clear, I don't support this. I'm just saying
You support it.
No.
You strictly support it.
No.
Because you're getting into the game, baby.
No. I think NFTs would be cool in a more practical sense, or like if I could have my passport as or like my driver's license as an NFT.
And you just have like a card that is like
And
government document, the NFT.
And it is one that's universal around the world. Oh my God.
Well, then we get into like City OS,
Who
Watch
cares?
Dogs problems.
Dude, that is amazing.
It does sound pretty. I think there are, we've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily promote NFTs on this podcast. We're not like NFT fans.
Yeah.
But also the technology behind NFTs does have potential. They have
It's
problems,
just-
most
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
got energy concerns. They got business ethical concerns.
Yes.
But the actual idea of a blockchain of the NFT is like very cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just so shitty to
How
see
it's
these
being
companies
used,
use these fucking, especially Konami. I saw one tweet saying this is actually a great move for NFTs, because now whenever gamers see NFTs, you can just go like, oh, the thing that Konami did. And then everyone fucking hates Konami for what they did to their gaming studio. And then there's just more negative press on NFTs.
Man. So bad. Okay, whatever.
So you can buy an NFT of like Vampire Killer, the song, of Circle of the Moon Japanese box art. It's so dumb.
Nope.
It's so stupid. And then when Square Enix comes out and they're like, well, you can put on stuff on the blockchain and blah, blah, blah. It's like the thing that they like they said like what you can gain from a blockchain based game is to earn while you play, or play to earn, right? So there's pay to play, there's pay to win. Now there's play to earn.
Yeah.
And so they're saying that like in the creative space, there's no real incentive for creators to make stuff using someone's game, right? And that's just a bold-faced lie. That's just straight untrue, because there have been great projects that came out of modding, right? Like the Median XL stuff for Diablo 2, Black Mesa, that whole team that was remaking Half-Life 1 for a decade eventually got support from Valve to just make that the official Half-Life 1 remake. And it's totally, everything reads like it is, we want to own user created content even though we didn't make any of it. It's like, dude.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Oh God. I fucking hate it so much. It's so dumb.
Are you telling me people are going to make content for me that I get to take advantage of?
I think one of the shittiest things about NFTs is when people bring up the idea of like perpetual ownership.
Yes, I would like to own forever.
Right. And so we already have laws against that. It's called public domain.
But I want to own it forever.
When people are like, oh yeah, like what if you made a song, right? And then you sold it to somebody, but then they sell your CD to somebody else. You don't see anything. It's like, yeah, I fucking shouldn't. All right. I already gave you the transaction, right? You paid for the product that I put out, and then there's a one-time purchase that I buy. if you go and sell that for $5 to a friend, I shouldn't get profit from that sale. It's different. Like, fuck you. Like, and like, I guess that's what they're trying to do with like user generated content in Square Enix games. And I'm just like, oh my God, just die. The amount of greed. Oh my God. Ugh.
We'll see what the next few years of gaming looks like.
Canada needs a Second Amendment, baby. No, I'm joking.
Nope.
Keep your guns out of here, please. But yeah, this is just like watching these companies get into the NFT blockchain space.
It's so exciting.
Is pure greed, and
Okay.
I fucking hate it.
That's
It's so shitty. Dog shit.
Well, I'm glad that sparked your brain this week.
Yeah, it's just a lot of 2022. Like I said before, a lot of hate going around.
Yeah.
Or too much good shit. So we got to spread some hate. So I got to bring up some negative stories.
Okay. Great.
China hates video games.
Yep.
Japan hates consumers.
Okay.
Nobody can buy a graphics card.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Wicked.
I think those are all my picks. Yeah. Those are them. I did them all.
All right. Cool.
You want to know what I did in my week?
What?
You know I like video games, right?
Not really.
Really? No? Okay. Well, I like video games. So I played some video games.
Sure you did. I don't believe you.
I played more Lost Judgment.
I thought, you're still playing this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in the back like 10% of this. I'm almost done. But the story has gotten much more interesting than it was when I last talked about it, which is like a couple weeks ago now at this point.
I don't even know what the story is.
So,
detective.
You're a
dies.
detective. You do some cool stuff. But so Lost Judgment, how the story picks up is that there is a murder, like a dead body that has been found in Yokohama.
Yeah,
and
I remember this part.
Been decomposing for a little bit and blah, blah, blah. How that story picks up is really cool because I'm not going to explain like specific details, but the game turns into when is it okay to take the law into your own hands if the system has failed you? And it creates this like ethical dilemma of just like,
so you're a superhero.
No, you're not a superhero.
You're a vigilante.
Right? And it's not that you're a vigilante, it's that the people you're trying to stop are a vigilante.
So it's Batman.
Kinda. It's like if you were a cop with the means to stop Batman, but then Batman had like he had the resources to help you solve something else you're working on, and now you have to work with the person whose
so it's
ideals
literally
you hate.
Batman.
But like the cops in this case don't have the ability to stop Batman, right? In the comics, like there's no singular like Jim Gordon can't beat the shit out of Batman, right?
But Batman would never kill Jim Gordon.
But what if Batman would kill Jim Gordon?
Then he wouldn't be Batman.
Batman's a bad analogy. Okay, what if the Punisher, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Right? You're a cop that's on the beat, right? And you have the ability to go toe to toe with the Punisher.
Okay.
But the Punisher can help you in another situation that you're working in.
Okay.
And you're conflicted in your moral stance of working with this guy who is taking the law into his own hands because the system has failed. That's actually a perfect analogy. Because the system has failed, but you also need him because the system is failing. And like in order for you to get around the people who are corrupting the system, you need to break away from the system.
Yeah, I get
right?
it. Shades of Grey.
Yeah, Shades of Grey and all that shit. It's such a cool story, and there's finally a Yakuza game that is set in a high school.
Oh,
because you play as like
the janitor?
No, not a janitor. Once you get in, you're like hired by a high school in like a subplot to get to where that story is now, and you're a outside counselor for the mystery club. So there's a high school club that's like basically like a detective club. And because you're a real detective, you become the outside counselor. So technically you can work on the school grounds and then you can do your real detective work there.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. You can go into like a dance club. So then you can go like take these girls to like dance competitions and like there's a whole mini story there. So
this is sounding a little
the side stories are a little sus.
Yeah.
No, but they actually keep it above board. There's no
Sure they
weird
do.
Japanese bullshit like that. I'm sure the fanfic.
There's no weird Japanese stuff in the most Japanese game.
Yeah, surprisingly,
Huh.
the creepy part of Japanese stuff isn't there.
Okay, fair
Right?
enough.
You,
Okay.
you play as a respectable adult the whole game.
I guess you have to be.
Yeah. You're an upstanding citizen of the law.
All right.
But that game man, it started off real slow, like maybe like the first 3-4 chapters. But as soon as you get to like chapter 5-6, it's like boom, takes off.
Cool.
Real interesting concepts, real interesting story. Kind of tugs at my heartstrings a little bit. You know, I got a little bit of soft spot for bullying, you know, in those kind of stories, and a little picking at them. But it's good. The studio can't do wrong. I don't know what the fuck. Like I'm at this point playing through these games. I'm literally looking for things I don't enjoy.
Got it.
And they're still good. Like I'm still playing through them, and I would like recommend any Yakuza Studio game to anybody.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah.
High praise.
I love that is my shill franchise. Like I think I would go to bat for like any Yakuza Studio video game.
Okay.
It's like if Shenmue was good. You know?
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, and that's why it's so great. That's why it's so great. What else have we been playing? I picked up a couple things on the Steam sale. So me and my friends have started playing Endless Legend.
What's this?
So Endless Legend is another 4X game, like Civilization.
Oh boy.
But it's made by Sega, or published by Sega at least.
I feel like this can only be worse than Civ.
It's different than Civ.
Oh wow.
And so this
unique.
This is high fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're playing as like different kind of like orcs,
The title
mages,
makes sense
like stuff like that, and you're playing 4X games.
All right.
One of the main difference in this game versus Civ, where in Civ when you take a settler and you put a plot down, you own like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like the 6 tiles around that city.
Yes.
And then once you start growing with your influence, you start taking over other tiles, right?
Yeah.
In this game, how it works is that when you plant down a city, you take over the whole province. And so there are like provincial areas on the map, and you can only have one city per province. And there are minor factions within those provinces which can be assimilated into your city to get bonuses for your kingdom as a whole.
I see.
And the whole concept around this game is not just like your basic 4X where it's like, all right, get the best resource spots, get the best technologies, try and win in certain ways, but you also have to do quests. So when you start as a faction, you have a main story quest that everyone else is also doing their own main story quest. And when you complete these quests, you get rewards as you do with quests. But then as you travel out into the world, you get quests from roving armies, your minor factions and stuff like that. And so it's like it's mostly 4X, but then in there you kind of got like RPG elements where you have leader units, which are like special named units that have like special abilities. And when you take them out with an army, you do quests with them and then they level up, and like your individual legendary units have skill trees. You can do like different science trees and stuff like that, but there's also like certain texts that are like necessary. So like if you want to go to another minor faction and parlay with them to get information, you literally need to research translation, like how to talk.
I see.
Because then if you don't have that tech, you can't talk with them, and the only other option is war, because there is no diplomacy if you cannot communicate.
Got it.
And stuff like that. And the factions are so drastically different from each other. My one friend, he's playing a faction where he can only have one city.
One city, you
so
say?
The city you start off as, in the province you start off with, that's it. That's the only place you can go. You cannot build settlers to take over other areas. But the trade-off is that they have crazy, unique, and efficient improvements to their city that are unique only to them. So you build one ultra like super city, that can take on an army of like 10 cities, right? Or
I understand.
my other friend is using it's more of a what do you call it, like a snowballing faction. So at the beginning, his cities kind of destroy a bunch of food resources, and it inhibits your ability to grow at a small scale. But once you get over like a certain threshold and you get a certain amount of technologies, you get enough bonuses cumulatively that negative becomes a positive, and you start exponentially growing until you just start take everybody over. So it's a really cool take on the 4X genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more I would say the barrier to entry is even worse than Civ.
Would you say that 4X games have a huge barrier to entry?
I would.
So is that the game to answer Paul's question?
I think it's worth it. I mean, again, if you're playing by yourself.
The question isn't is it worth it? The question is,
would I recommend it?
Like what games are hard to recommend because of the barrier to entry?
If you this would be a hard one. If you have friends to play with, I would recommend 4X games.
Okay.
If you are just gonna play by yourself and go online, don't do it.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, just don't. Straight don't.
All right.
It's cool. Endless Judgment or Endless Legend is very cool. And I learned that there are multiple. Well, I knew that there was Endless Space, but I didn't know that there's Endless Dungeon as well, where it's like a 4X in a dungeon kind of.
Yeah.
And what I learned recently is that all those games exist in the same universe. So in Endless Space, you can find the planet that Endless Legend takes place on. And in Endless Legend, you can find the dungeon that Endless Dungeon takes place in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're all canonically within the same universe.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty neat little thing. But yeah, this is really good. It was like $8 on the sale. The sale's over now, but the one cool thing that I didn't know the Endless series does is that if one of your friends in a multiplayer games owns the DLC, it shares all that DLC.
Oh, I like when games do that.
Right. So one of my friends owns all the DLC for Endless Legend, so I get to take advantage of all that DLC because he owns it.
That's cool.
So it's pretty sick. So in that case, the barrier to entry was really low in terms of monetary, but the time you need to put in to like understand that game.
You guys aren't playing what's that other one? Anno
2.5.
Yeah.
No. Isn't that like a Sim City game?
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. I can't remember.
Also, those games. That's the one. Don't get into SimCity. And then the last game I've been playing is Project Zomboid. This has been popular on Twitch a little bit. It's an early access game.
Okay.
It's a isometric zombie survival game. And it is the heart. Like, I thought Tarkov was hardcore. Hot damn. This game is brutal. So the world has been taken over by zombies. You play as it can be a made character or a randomly generated character.
Wait, what? It's either made or random?
Yeah, so you can.
Oh,
you can
sorry.
choose. There's a character creation screen, so you can either click random and it makes you a random character with negative and positives.
I know. I read it or I heard it as MAID.
Oh, like a maid. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, your brain is ruined, dude.
What the fuck?
I know what you've been looking up on the hentais.
Whoa.
All right.
No, just regular anime.
So this game kind of looks like The Sims 2.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't look amazing.
So it looks like the metaverse.
Terrible. But they use that to focus more on mechanics. So when you create a character, you can choose gender, name, some visual stuff, hair color, or whatever. But you choose a class. Okay, and so you choose like a medic or a construction worker, lumberjack, fitness instructor, policeman, and each of those characters or whatever, doctor, or in each of those classes have different positives and negatives. And then on top of that, there's a perk system. So positive perks take away from your player score, and negative perks add to your player score, giving you more positive points to play around with.
Okay.
So certain ones are like you're agoraphobic. When you're outside in big vast areas, you get panicked, so your mental state goes down. Other ones could be, or it could go as bad as you're deaf. So like there is no in-game audio for you and your character. But on the positive one, you could be like you're a triathlon athlete, like your stamina is through the roof, or you're very strong, like you're a brawler, you love fights, so you and your melee weapons get plus bonuses. That is like already kind of a lot, even just at the character select screen, to take into consideration. But this game goes way farther than that. So each one of your body parts is like can be separately damaged. There's a difference between being scratched, being slashed, being bitten, being infected. Each one of your clothing pieces affects your body temperature.
Oh, wow.
So if it's summer and you're running in flannel, you'll get sweaty, and then your body temperature will rise, which will make you thirsty faster. But then if you sweat enough, you will wet your clothing. And then if your clothing is wet, you're heavier, and you gain more stress because you're like walking around in sweaty clothes and you're dirty and whatever. If you want to climb through a window, okay, you have to open the window, of course, or you can break the window, and you can break the window and pop in. But if you break the window, you've left shards of glass around it. So if you vault through a broken window, you'll lacerate your hands.
Wow.
And then if your hands are damaged, you can't do things like dig or like carry really heavy objects, or like your weapon usability will go down. Like in certain cases, like your hand is damaged enough, you can't equip stuff into your left hand, say. This game is absolutely brutal. It has
sounds hard.
Stress meter, it has hunger meter, thirst meter. When you want to cook food, so you can find food around, and if you find a fridge, you might find like a frozen chicken. You have to go to the oven, turn it on, then go into settings, put the settings to like 350 Fahrenheit for X amount of time, and then cook the food, and then watch it before it gets burnt so you can eat it at an optimal temperature.
Eat it at an optimal temperature?
Yeah, because if you eat it while it's still like cold inside because you didn't cook it enough, you don't get as much benefits out of if you cooked it fully. And then if you go overboard, you can burn your food if you're not watching.
Fair enough, yeah.
Right, and all that stuff. You can rip clothes to make bandages, but then your bandages get dirty.
To change them.
So you have to change your bandages, and then you can go to a sink to wash all your clothes of the dirt so you get less stress. And like there's systems on top of systems on top of systems. And honestly, I haven't made it a full day of surviving yet. So how it works is that when you create your character, you just get plopped into a city randomly. And then you have to find your friends.
Oh.
Yeah. And then when you meet your friends, hopefully you can get enough stuff to like barricade a house or create a fort of some sort. And to do that, you have to clear out zombies. You have to not hit your friends while you're fighting zombies. There's a whole system of like, there's like construction, there's metal crafting. You can drive a car, so you need like an auto mechanic for that. There are so many ways to play this game. Yeah. But I haven't got to any of them yet because I just die. Like I'll kill 6 zombies, but then it's like, oh, I gotta, like the one zombie cut my arm, cut my neck. Let's say that's the worst one. So they cut my neck with their hand. I got a laceration here, but I have no bandages, and so I'm just gonna bleed out and die.
Yeah,
right.
That's what usually happens.
Or I went into a house, and because I'm deaf, I couldn't hear the zombies on the second floor. And how the game actually works is that you can only see things within your character's visual view. Yeah. So if you're looking at a wall, you can only see the wall, and everything around you in a 360 is dark. Okay. If you're running down a road and you're looking forward, the zombies behind you become invisible, and you can't see where they are until you turn around. physically in the game. And it's such a deep and like totally messed up system.
Yep.
Where I'm like, this game is insane, but also I want to play more because I want to see what happens when you get around all the mechanics and like actually start getting a grasp on it. I had to quit the other day after like 2 hours of dying because I was like, I need to look up like a tutorial or some shit. Like none of us knew what we were doing. We had decided to make a doctor's office our headquarters.
Yeah.
But then everyone kept dying. And then every time we tried to go back to the doctor's office, we would lure more zombies there. And then eventually a doctor's office just became a zombie horde area. And we're like, fuck.
Yeah. Messed that one up.
But it's a really interesting game. I'll
Yeah.
say
So that's what I was going to say. It sounds like it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Is it fun?
So far, not really.
That's what I'm hearing.
So far, I'm
like,
having a bad time.
Because you're just like, there's all these things you can do. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many things you can do if it's not fun to do them.
And if you keep dying.
Yeah.
But the
like
thing,
Tarkov, I understand why it's fun.
Because when you kill somebody, you're like, oh shit.
But this game just sounds like, it just sounds annoying.
They lie to you in the tutorial. So at the end of the tutorial, they say, oh, press this button for you to quick heal. Right?
Yeah.
And then when you press the button, it's the yell button to like yell to your friends.
Oh boy.
And then it's like, okay, good luck. That's the end of the tutorial. Try and survive. And then a bunch of zombies come in and eat you, and that's how the end of the tutorial.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's a thing.
So I think it's one of those things where like they made the game to not necessarily be fun, but to have a challenge, and then the fun comes from you overcoming the impossible odds that they've put you up against.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's tons of games like that people like that stuff.
Yeah, some guy recently did every Souls game without getting hit in a row.
Wow.
Like there's some nutso kids out there.
Yeah, I know.
And this is another one where like I'm playing with friends, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm learning with other people, because if I bought this by myself, don't do it.
Cool.
But it's an interesting challenge, I'll say.
Sounds like it.
This is definitely, I wouldn't recommend this to you, because this is definitely one of those things where like I like the idea, but the idea isn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I see the potential, and I'm okay playing the broken thing before it is perfected.
All right. I get it. Yeah, no. Cool.
It's cool. And then the last thing I've been doing is I've been reading more manhwa, Korean manga. And I gotta say, like, maybe I just haven't read the right ones. Whenever the 4D chess style of manga is never great in manhwa that I've read.
Okay.
Right? But manhwa is very, very good at very simple, straightforward stories.
Okay.
So one I recommended before was Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
Right? You're in an MMO world, or the world is an MMO.
Yeah.
And you kill monsters, you get stronger.
Yeah, the isekai, yeah.
It's just a power fantasy.
Yeah.
This one is called Guard Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It is about some high school students, Lim Si-jun, who in high school he's a fat guy. He's a big guy. He's tall and he's fat, and he has really high self-esteem. He doesn't really care that other people around him call him fat or whatever. But his one best friend, I'm gonna fuck this name up, Seo Ha-jin.
Okay.
She is like his best friend since like childhood, right? And because when he was like a kid, he was a baby, she like took up like martial arts to protect him, I guess. But now they're bigger. Obviously, they're in high school and stuff. And one day they go in to stop some bullies who are extorting money from some kids in the class. And when that happens, it turns out his friend has over the years has just become like real good at jujitsu. Puts the one bully in an arm bar, like almost snaps his arm. And Lim, who's just big, is big, right? He punches a bunch of stuff. But one day what happens is the girl, the best friend, she doesn't make it to jujitsu class one day. And it turns out that there's some like tournament, I guess, that some of the more delinquent kids are taking part of, and it's being set up almost like an underground fight ring.
So Fight Club.
Kinda. But she gets fucked up.
Wow.
And like she gets the shit kicked out of her. Someone like dislocates her leg like her knees, I guess, like,
Yeah.
and like they really fuck her up and like give her like a lot of psychological trauma. And in order to get revenge, Lim tries to go beat up at least the bullies he know who are at least at the lowest level connected to what happened to her.
Yeah.
So he tries to fight them, gets his shit kicked in by jujitsu, gets choked out. And what happens is that the guy who saves him is a big jujitsu practitioner. And he's like, okay, I'll let you train at this gym. I saw what happened. It's fucked up. I don't like bullies. I'll let you train at this gym for free if I can use you as like marketing material. Because he's a big fat guy. Then you go train jujitsu, body change, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he learns jujitsu over like a 3-month period. And the rest of the story is just revenge porn. Like it is him going up against stronger and stronger people who are in different mixed martial arts styles.
And he just wrecks them.
And he gets wrecked a lot. He wrecks them. And it's pretty brutal. Especially when there's only like 20 or so chapters out right now. But especially when they start getting into like deadlier fights with like more skilled people. There's a lot of just like the author is venting something. I don't know what it is, but the author is definitely getting some anger out in this piece of work.
He's just, we all have our little power fantasies. He's just put his on paper. That's all.
He put his on paper most deaf.
Yeah.
Because there is like limb breaks all over the place. Like people just getting their arms broken, legs kicked backwards, bats to the back of the head, just straight up cold knockouts.
That's rough.
I'll show you the cover image of it. Is just the main character holding a knocked out guy by his hair, right, winding up for like a death punch.
Yeah,
it's very good. I don't think it would be for. There's no like gore or anything, so you're not seeing like actual bones.
Yeah,
or whatever. But it is very violent. So I don't know if I could recommend Guard Pass to people who are a bit squeamish on like just people getting their heads caved in type of thing.
Wait, people die?
They might. It's like the anime thing where they take so much damage where it's like in real life they'd be dead.
Okay.
But in the comic they're not.
All right.
They recover somehow.
Okay.
It's a pretty good straightforward power fantasy.
All right.
If you're into that. And they actually use like mixed martial arts techniques. Like one of the first fights they do was really funny because so he learned jujitsu, right? And the guy he was facing only knew jujitsu. So there's a thing in jujitsu called pulling guard, where you're allowed in a match to you start the match, just lay on your back and just be like, you got to come to me, right? So I'm going to pull guard. I'm going to wait for you to do stuff, and I'm going to do stuff from the guard position. And he didn't know how to get over that the first time, but then when he expanded his fighting knowledge, his teacher's like, you probably just strike, right? Like, strikes are a thing. So the guy tries to use guard pull in a street fight, and then the main character just starts toe kicking him in the quads.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right? Just starts kicking him in the legs.
I don't have to play by the rules.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, all the damage accumulates, and he tries to get back up, but then, like, his legs are all fucked, and then he gets choked out. They use a lot of just like fighting techniques in that sense, especially jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of submission holds in this series, but it's cool. It's super simple, super straightforward. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's just good.
Cool.
It's just fun. Guard Pass. It's pretty decent. Recommended.
That's not a recommend.
That's a I like it. It's cool.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I recommend it. No,
it's pretty
that's
decent.
Not
I
a
recommend
recommendation.
It's pretty decent. I recommend it.
Nah. That sounds like it's a 5 out of 10.
Dude,
go watch it.
I wouldn't say it's like
when someone says something's decent, I read that as satisfactory, as in
it's like a 6 or a 7. It's pretty good.
It's like a 5.
It's pretty good.
Use the whole scale.
It's not as bad as Fast and the Furious 9 is bad. I recommend you see it.
Yeah, that was fucking awful. Oh my god.
We should watch it again.
Never.
That's the one.
Never in my life.
Rewatch
Never.
Tokyo Drift over and over again to get all the knowledge.
It's not happening. No.
Yeah, but that's been all the new stuff in my week.
Okay. I'll talk about some Marvel things. So I finished Hawkeye, or I watched Hawkeye, finished Hawkeye. I think now I'm caught up on all the MCU TV shows. Hawkeye deals with you remember in Avengers Endgame, we find Hawkeye and he's got like the sword and the hood,
Yes.
and he's called Ronin.
Yeah, Ronin.
So the show basically
Every
deals.
weeb's dream.
Yeah, it deals with the actions he did during that time and how they're coming back to haunt him.
Okay.
And they talk more about like how he dealt with losing his family during
Endgame.
the blip.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Everyone came back eventually, right?
From the blip?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who
Okay.
just disappeared from the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he has to deal with certain character deaths that didn't come back,
Like
the Black Widow.
True.
And because of that, certain characters appear, and other characters appear.
Like the Hulk.
Sure,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think so.
Okay, all right.
And this is all centered around him being in New York around Christmas, and there's a girl named Kate Bishop who just so happened to be around during the original Avengers movie and saw Hawkeye with his bow, and she was like, "That's so cool.
That guy's so
I
cool.
want to be like him." And Kate Bishop's whole story is like, "I'm gonna take up the bow. Now I'm a master of the bow. I'm also gonna take up all the martial arts. I'm a master of the martial arts."
No, nobody did this. This is bullshit.
And now
Oh my
she is
God.
trying to be Hawkeye's partner.
Nobody looks at the Avengers and goes like, "I want to be Hawkeye." Like, come on.
And they do deal with that. They're like, Hawkeye's the lame one. Like, Hawkeye has no branding. Hawkeye's kind of
Garbage.
he has
Purple.
no powers. But she loves Hawkeye, and she wants to be the partner. And so it's the whole like, what is it? Like master and pupil situation,
Okay.
where the pupil's
Mr.
over.
Miyagi.
Yeah, the pupil is clearly over eager, and the master's like, I don't even want to train you.
Get the hell
So-
out of here.
Yeah, that's basically what their whole dynamic is, and you probably know where the story's going, or at least that relationship. Like by the end, they become like a team.
A reluctant team. Oh
We'll
my
say.
God.
There's some stuff that happens, like in terms of who the villain is and whatnot.
I don't want to take this kid across the United States, but what if I
But
bonded with her because my kid was dead?
yeah, like it starts out pretty all right,
All right.
and then at the midpoint it gets pretty cool,
All right.
and then at the end it's like, all right, that was all right.
That was an okay show.
Like it was okay. Like I don't hate it.
That's like on brand for Hawkeye though. Like Hawkeye's he's all right.
I know, like I'm not. There's nothing about the show that I can knock against, because they do some cool stuff, and like it's pretty well connected with the greater universe. But it also isn't like, whoa, this is cool.
That's fucking rad.
What I will say is that now that I've watched all these MCU TV shows,
Mhm.
I can 100% say they are all not necessary viewing.
Even the good ones.
Even the good ones.
Alright.
And like that's kind of like, because the Loki one I think is super cool, but it is the least important of all of them.
So the MCU has really done the reverse of anime,
Yeah.
where anime the shows are the most important, right? But the movies, whenever you watch like the My Hero Academia movies,
Oh, yeah,
it is just
nothing.
here's this very contained
Yeah.
thing that at the end of the day, cool stuff happened, but nothing is canon.
Yeah, or like it is canon, but we write it in such a way that it can only exist in the movie.
Yeah.
And then things revert. Yeah. Yeah, so these shows, like, they're all really cool, but they're all totally not necessary.
Okay.
Which is a shame, because I do care. Like, I like some of these characters and like what's happened in these shows, but you can really tell it's like it almost feels like they're held back by the status quo of important shit has to happen on the big screen. These are all side stories. That's all they ever will be, and done. And the only reason Loki can get away with it is because, well,
He's a time traveling wizard.
exactly,
All right.
and you're done. So.
All right.
I said last week on the awards that I watched Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know how much more I need to say about that. I think it's awesome, awesome.
Maybe you can just go a little bit into it just because our audio is kind of fucked.
What do you want me to say?
I
You
don't
want me
know,
to
like-
spoil it?
Not spoil it, but just like live up to your expectations.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Just generalities around it.
Yeah, man. Spider-Man was the Spider-Man movie 20 years in the making. It's the best Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Is the last Tom Holland.
I hope,
All right.
because this is the Spider-Man movie where it's like, man, Tom Holland is Spider-Man,
That sucks.
and I hope.
Andrew Garfield comes back, baby.
Well, absolutely, but I hope Tom Holland I'm glad that now I accept him as Spider-Man. I just never want to see another Spider-Man movie with him.
I don't know if you've accepted him then.
No, because like the way it ends is just like I get it.
Okay.
Like,
right.
Because the Tom Holland Spider-Man has always been from the get-go, like it's tried to make itself known that this is not the comic book Spider-Man.
Okay.
Or like the Spider-Man that everyone knows and loves. And to say that this movie ends with him becoming the comic book Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I feel like that goes against every one of his movies.
So you think that like his whole arc is kind of
It's
over.
complete.
All
Like
right.
it's not that I don't want to see him as Spider-Man again. I just feel like it's not necessary.
When was the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie?
This is Civil War 2015.
It's really been 6 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. One every 2 years.
I guess we are like in the realm of like another reboot for Spider-Man,
Well, I don't know if we need a reboot, but
also like kind of don't want to reboot.
well, because the way that ends,
I'd have to see it. I guess don't spoil it.
yeah, like there's a way that, let's just say, I hope there's no other Spider-Man,
Okay.
or at least I hope he's not Spider-Man.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. We'll see.
Miles would be cool. Miles would be cool.
Dude, someone needs to do Miles good. Like I feel like even in the animated movie,
He
like
was
the first
sick.
one, he was okay.
It was awesome.
He was all
He wasn't as
right.
cool as Gwen.
He
but
wasn't as cool as bum Peter Parker.
That's true.
Like bum Peter Parker was sick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like what we could use a Miles in the live action universe, especially as like,
Especially because he has such unique powers.
yeah,
Like, put some stealth shit in there. Put some electricity zapping in there.
yeah. I feel like that's the move to make if they want to do the whole appeal to like minority groups, especially with them saying they're not going to recast
Yeah.
T'Challa.
Yeah.
Like, who else do they have that's a big player that they can use as like a representation play?
The thing is like, I think Miles is a good enough character of what I've like seen in the comic space and in other spaces that he's a unique enough character to where it doesn't even have to be this like minority lean.
No,
Right.
but that's how it's going to be taken, because like the minute
Yeah.
you put a poster of Spider-Man and he's not white, like
Yeah.
you're saying something.
Yeah, probably.
Like it doesn't matter. Like your messaging is out there, right?
All right. Who would be Jaden Smith?
Hell yeah. I'm in. That'd be
No,
cool.
please don't.
That'd be cool. That'd be
Please
so
don't.
cool.
Please don't.
Okay, so that's Spider-Man. I am also in the last like 10% of Guardians of the Galaxy, the game.
Oh, still not done it.
Yeah, because
It's because it's bad. You're getting wearing down on you.
no, because I got addicted to something else.
Oh, okay, all right.
That game is great. Like the story is great. Technically, the game is a visual treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that game. That game is awesome. Make no mistake, the combat is the weakest point,
Mm-hmm.
but it's serviceable enough that I don't mind it. Like you just mash buttons. No, that's a lie. You shoot things,
Okay.
but it's more about timing your. It plays a lot like a. How can I describe it? What are those games called you like Path and Diablo?
Like Diablo.
Yeah, but there's a specific.
ARPGs?
I guess no, but it's more about.
Looters?
Huh? No,
Looter
no.
shooters?
No. It's more like it's just basically shooting is the main action. Like that's you're holding down the click, and then it's just pressing all your abilities and waiting for them to come off cooldown.
Okay, yeah, ARP or MMOs, ARPGs.
Yeah,
like,
but the thing is,
action RPGs.
Yeah, but it's a third person shooter, right? So like I don't know if it's a 1-for-1, but
You can
anyways.
still have those elements, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what it plays like, and it's good enough in that sense. Like you level up and you do stuff. But no, I think this is actually better than the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Both of them.
Huh. That's high praise, dude.
Like
Well, the first one is high. The second one was okay.
okay,
But-
but yeah, from a narrative angle, it is better.
Okay.
It is. Mantis is amazing in this game.
She's not just useless like in the movies.
Mantis is hilarious in this
Okay,
game.
all right.
She's awesome. Drax, like they're all like they feel like better fleshed out characters than the movie ones.
Do you think that's because of the length of the thing?
Oh,
that you're doing?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. You have more time to go into stuff. You know how like when you play Mass Effect, between missions you could talk to your crewmates, and then that's when you get all your like character backstory.
Yeah.
So in this game, instead of like you can do that, but throughout the missions you'll get those moments.
Oh, cool.
And so it never feels like these stories are like the extra reading material.
Oh, that's cool. So it doesn't feel like this is here's the backstory section, here's the main story section. Like it intertwines with each other.
It intertwines with the main
That's
story.
pretty cool.
And so like when characters have to run off and like do shit,
Mhm.
or they leave, and characters do leave your party, you're not with them all the time. You understand why, and it's way more organic, and it's way like I see why this would win like story of the year now,
Mhm.
or like narrative of the year. Like it's the best video game story this year or last year.
All right.
Totally worth it. But hopefully, I finish it soon. The reason I didn't finish it is because I got a gift card from work to
All right.
and I didn't know what to spend it on. It was $100. I was like, what am I gonna eat? And so I bought a gift card to Steam.
You bought a gift card with another gift card.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I bought Super Robot Wars 30.
Finally. Did you get the Ultra Super Edition?
I did.
Nice.
Because I didn't know this. But so when I read that the Ultra Super Edition comes with everything plus the sound pack and the high res and the reference files.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it changes all the audio in the game.
Huh.
Because if you play Super Robot Wars, whenever like characters come on the screen, it
Mhm.
plays their song, but
Yeah.
it's only instrumentals.
Yeah.
If you have the audio pack, it switches it to the actual.
Oh, to like the official licensed music.
Yeah,
That's sick.
and not only that, it has more sounds. So depending on certain story scenarios or whatnot,
Mhm.
it'll change their specific themes to match the ones that line up with their attack.
That's
and,
so cool.
and it does it through like the narrative part. And I'm like, I see why this is important. It's so hype.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I have all the DLC. It's a good thing I waited because I didn't realize that DLC Pack 2 came out on December 24th. So even though the game launched in October,
Mhm.
and I really only wanted DLC Pack 2
Mhm.
because that had Iron-Blooded Orphans and...
Get them all, baby.
It had someone else, I forget. Oh, no, I don't remember.
I'll just look here. Start talking. I'll look it up.
I know DLC 2 is the one I cared about, but I can't remember who the other half of it was.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, I've been going through it. I went with the Earth route. I'm playing as a girl. I'm playing as Az. And yeah, it's Super Robot Wars. Like, if you've played one, you've kind of played them all.
It is a strategy RPG.
Yeah, the difference here is they put way more emphasis on your... You know how, like, your team has a general spaceship, battleship thing?
Sorry, did you say DLC 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
2.
Yeah. You have like a general spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one, the real focus is on maintaining that space, like leveling up that spaceship. Because even though like battleships are part of the map, this one now affects how you level up and grow.
Okay.
So you have to level it up in order to level up your other characters. So it's pretty cool.
Dude, you forgot. Okay, listen. I get IBO is cool. All
yeah,
right.
I know the other one's more important.
It's fucking Ultraman.
Oh,
It's Ultraman and the OG robots.
Yes, the OG robots. No, Ultraman's the one I don't care about. It's the OG robots.
The OG robots are cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you can just get Ultraman.
Yes. I've unlocked SSSS Gridman.
How busted is he?
He doesn't even have all the stuff, but I've poured all my points into him.
Nice.
He is bananas.
Okay, all right.
I've given him this thing that gives him like 50-50 crit rate.
Oh, okay.
And he smokes everything. I have to stop using him because like it's gotten to that situation where he's an overpowered unit and everyone else is not.
And they're just not getting any XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's even my main character. I'm like, oh, I should use her more.
So does this game take the power levels of robots into consideration when they're in the game?
When they start, yes, like their base stats will be a little higher or lower.
Like if you get God Eva or whatever the fuck, it'll be higher than base.
Yeah, so like right now I have J Decker,
Okay.
but in his universe he also has this other robot called I forget. It's like a little ninja dude, but he's
Okay.
he's like half the strength of Jay Decker.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Yeah, I don't have that many cool robots yet. Like I have Iron Blooded Orphan, so I have the Barbatos,
Okay.
I have the Gridman, and I have mine, and I have all these other ones where I'm like, they're kind of okay.
Did you get Voltus 5?
No.
No, that's in DLC 1. I'm looking at the DLC 1. I didn't realize that there's a bunch of Sakura Wars
Oh yes,
robots in there for
they
DLC
fucking
1.
suck.
Well, I guess if you're comparing it to like god-ending robots, then sure.
I didn't know about Ultraman, but when you get Ultraman, it's not big Ultraman.
It's tiny person Ultraman?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so when he fights the robots,
He gets big?
no, he's tiny.
He just punches them in the toes?
Yeah, and when other people come in, they're like, "Holy shit, what's that man in a suit? What's he doing?"
That's hilarious.
And they're like, "How is he fighting?"
how is he so strong?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then there's more OG series.
Yeah.
Q-Ko-O and Ko-Ryu-O.
Oh yeah, so they're like the dragon and the like tiger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voltus 5, Sakura Wars, and Char's Counterattack. High New Gundam.
Yeah, so I heard that one you don't get till late game.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
What if I just Google all Super Robot Wars 30 special attacks?
You can do that. It's not as fun. The story's interesting. So it's like it takes place clearly after all the super robot stuff has happened.
There's combinations in this
Yes.
game. Oh my god. This video is an hour.
Yes.
There's an hour.
Oh, I should. So I'm playing on the PC, right? I'm
Yeah.
playing like whatever. The great thing about PC is you can play high res settings and
Mhm.
like there's no loading time. Whenever you get a new robot and they have to combine, instead of just making it, they just pull the original anime in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So when I got Combattler V, it was like the 70s. showed up
Oh,
on my,
nice.
and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" When they did J Decker, it was like all that.
Looking all
cool-
shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody likes J.
It's
Decker.
so cool. But yeah, no, the game really is a love letter to like Super Robot Wars fans. Like, you probably should just get it if you're into this kind of stuff. The main mecha that you pilot, the Hucklebein,
Okay.
because it's Super Robot Wars 30, on its face it has 3 X's.
Oh, it's a very common rider. Like the decade.
Yeah, it's XXX.
Okay.
And it stands for like something.
30.
It stands for 30,
the
but
Roman
like there's an
numerals of
it's an acronym for something.
Oh,
in
they
the
made
game.
it extra dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's cool. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Koji Kabuto, original pilot of Mazinger Z, is such a baller because in this game, like
Yeah.
the universe it takes place after all of the Super Robot War stuff has ended,
Okay.
or not ended, but like, like how I guess Super Robots, their era was like the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes place after all that, after all their animes have ended, and everyone in the universe knows who they are.
Oh.
So like when you get Koji, the original Mazinger, everyone treats him like, oh my god, you were the Koji.
You're
like
Koji.
you're a god,
Nice.
right? So you get them, and then I didn't know this, but there's an anime recently called like Knights and Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that's an isekai.
Oh.
It's like some weeb, some like turbo robo weeb, goes to another world, and he makes robots.
All right.
And when you get him, he's from another dimension. He's like, holy fuck, I'm with all the greatest super robots. And his whole character is just like
Nerding out.
nerding out on all these robots. So it's cool. Some characters come from different universes and stuff, so
Mhm.
it's cool. And I always forget how like creative they get with actually taking the canonical story and weaving it into the Super Robot World's tale and making it work. But yeah, like gameplay wise, no different. It's just a fun thing.
Sometimes those crossover games do it pretty well. Like I remember liking Project Cross Zone, at least the first one.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
just because like when
It's
everybody
ridiculous.
meets everybody and they're like, "Oh, you're Kazuya from whatever the
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it Mishima?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mishima family. Oh,
Yeah.
you're Akira from whatever." And like
Yeah.
all that stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. But yeah, that's that. That's Super Robot 30. Still doing a lot of Halo Infinite. And then girlfriend and I, she's like, you had this PS5 for a year. I've never played it. I'm like, okay. She's like, we should play something. I'm like, all right, let's play something.
Why would you play it? It's mine. No.
No, because like we always had planned to play something because I got multiple controllers, but
Yeah.
we ended up playing like on the Switch or something.
Okay.
So we played Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris.
It's a good game.
That game is a lot of fun.
That's a good game.
That's a lot of fun. I didn't realize how like that game is well balanced in terms of like its isometric combat and puzzle mechanics, and that's up to 4 people.
I believe so. Yeah. The first one I think is 2 people max, and
Yeah.
then Temple of Osiris was the sequel.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean, like, it looks dated now, but I guess it looked dated then.
it looked
'cause-
dated then. It was like demade on purpose, like so it kind of
So-
looks like that.
I'm playing on the PS5, and when you load up the game, it says, because you're playing on PS5, you can expect errors to occur.
Oh, it's like too powerful.
And so when you're playing the game, every now and then, black bars will cover your screen.
What?
So it looks like you're looking through blinds.
That's weird. Okay.
It has made this game 1,000 times harder for us. Because you just can't
You
see
can't
shit.
see anything. Yeah.
Boss battles have become infuriating.
All right.
But I mean, overall, I think it's a fun co-op game. We I think we got to like the last boss in 2 sittings, but we had to stop. So we're gonna finish that this weekend. But the truth is, what I really wanted to play was with her was It Takes Two. So I have that loaded up.
Ooh.
So we'll probably start that this weekend.
Well, I'll be there when your relationship ends.
Yeah, I know that game looks
You
wild.
need a friend, call me up. It's
That
okay.
game looks wild. Yeah. Yeah. And then the last thing is I stopped playing iRacing this week and I jumped back on Assetto Corsa Competizione because they had a 1.8 update.
I was looking at a Super Robot Wars attack, and he
it's-
was like sending a guy through big bangs and like
yeah, sounds like
I don't know what was happening. Some guy named Advent.
Okay.
Do you know? Is that
No.
in the game only?
I have no
All right,
idea.
that's a spoiler probably. Then. I
Alright.
don't know what the hell's going on there.
All right. But yeah, I've been playing racing games. 1.8 update. So I've put 90 hours into Assetto Corsa this year.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Considering I split it with iRacing because iRacing has
true,
the
true,
other
true, true.
90 hours.
Yeah.
And F1 has the other 60 and Forza has the other 60. So yeah. Anyways, this update, they changed the physics engine.
That's that. They pulled a Tarkov.
So it's like playing a new game. And they added this car called a BMW M4.
Nobody's ever heard of it. What is it? What's that?
I don't know, everyone knows an M4. It's the new M4. If you look up BMW M4, you'll know.
Everybody knows the M3 because Razer Callahan drove it in Need for Speed Most
the
Wanted.
M4 is the M3.
Yeah, but it's not as cool because Razer Callahan didn't drive it in the blacklist, baby.
Wow. No, the M4 is cooler.
All right, okay.
So there's a difference between M4 and M3. M3 has 3 doors. No, M3 has 4 doors.
3 doors.
M3 has 4 doors. The M4 has 2 doors. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Anyways,
All right, it's a pretty cool looking car.
what an OP fucking car.
This is a pretty cool looking car.
What an the physics engines changed, so I know what to expect. Like cars are slightly different. It's harder to warm up your tires. It's easier to lose rear end. Whatever. But I jumped into this BMW.
This front grille,
Is something.
it looks like it's just 2 very large nostrils.
Absolutely. So people absolutely hate it. I love it. I think it's wicked.
I'm not feeling it.
Okay, look up M4 GT3 because that's the actual car that's been included. It's a race car.
Oh, it's got a wide body kit. It's looking cool.
Yeah,
But the nostrils, dude.
I love
the nostrils. I don't know, man.
You know what? You look at that car and you're like, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah, but I look at any BMW and I go, that guy's
Yeah, but this one's like, this guy's an extra
whenever
asshole.
whenever I'm inside a BMW, I'm like, I'm an asshole.
Embrace it. Embrace it. Actually, no, not anymore. Now I think that title has shifted to
Audi?
yeah, Audi.
Audi drivers are.
Audi drivers are.
Listen, if you listen to this podcast and you drive an Audi,
Yeah, if
you're a dickhead.
Yeah, if you're rocking the 4 rings, you're an asshole.
you're a dickhead.
You know who else? If you're driving a Porsche, you're an asshole.
Well, Porsche. Listen. Everyone who drives Porsche, they haven't made a nice looking Porsche since like the 70s. All right.
No,
So-
don't say that.
Porsches don't look great.
The new ones are nice.
They're okay.
They're sexy. That GT3 Touring, I need one of those. Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to say is Assetto Corsa is like a new game. I'm trying to learn that, and it's been tough. I forgot how much I really like that game. My favorite actual game to drive in. Not the best for online competition, but the one I love driving in that game. But yeah, that's really it for me. Those are all my updates.
You don't have any new like have you been like working on stuff in iRacing, or is there like do you have like a training regimen?
Not really. To be honest, like I'm just right now I'm just driving here and there, just upping my rank in iRacing. I'm at the point now where like every time you sign up to an event,
Mhm.
everyone goes to the same pool, right? And then you're split up by your rank.
Yep.
It's max usually like depending on the event. We'll just say it's like 20 cars per whatever. So if there's like 200 participants, we all get split into races, and those races are divided by your rank, which are called splits, right? My rank is now at the point where I'm always in the top split, but I just make it to the top split. So I'm the last guy in the top split.
Whatever, man. You're in the top split. Who gives a shit?
When you're racing for not last, oh man, like it is just it's I don't know how I feel about it because like I'm at the top. I'm with the big boys.
Yeah.
But the gap in I guess skill is so huge
This is why I said only 80 hours.
Yeah, I have other games to play.
No, I think you need to give me your PS5. We need to take this away from you.
What?
You need to focus, all right, on iRacing.
Fuck the PS5. I'm playing Monster Hunter next week with you. What are you talking
true.
about?
Monster Hunter's coming out next week. True facts.
Aren't we streaming?
On God, yeah. All right.
Yeah. You can look forward to that, by the way.
When I replay through all of the old content as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So I can get ready for the update in June or whatever it is.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Sunbreak.
I'm really just going to be playing Monster Hunter, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
God damn it.
Get ready. Get ready.
Listen, everyone on Twitch, dog shit Monster Hunter players.
Oh,
they got to
my.
wait for us, baby.
Yeah.
Actually, did you see that one Twitch streamer?
Who?
He, I forget what his name was, but he completed 100 Elatrion quests in a row.
Why?
In a row without being hit.
Whoa. Team Darkside, watch out.
It wasn't even Team Dark. I forget who it
Yeah.
was, but yeah. He I guess he like modded the quest on PC so that when he killed an Elatrion, it brought out another Elatrion.
Oh.
And then he had like infinite time.
Oh.
So
Okay.
he had 100 Elatrions.
I get it. I mean, that's cool. That's cool.
It's
You
insane.
modded it.
It's so dumb.
Modded it. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So yeah, Monster Hunter's next week, and that's all I can really think about. I feel like I'm debating whether I should start another game in between then, but I probably should.
What is it next week is Monster Hunter?
Like Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Like,
you
what
could
a
probably,
release.
You can probably fit something short in there.
Like what? Inscription?
Yeah, it might be.
All right, I'll try.
One of those
Deathloop?
One of those F-Zero clones I got you.
No, those are long.
Are they? Damn.
Well, Pacer is not long, but
Okay.
Redout's long.
All right.
It takes a while. Cause like I played that
You know what? Just go play World again. Get back into World. Get back into the grind.
on the PC.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Buy a full price. Wait, do you have World on PC?
no.
No. Then just play on PS5.
I'm getting Rise, buddy.
All right. Okay.
I can't wait for Sunbreak. Yeah, so that's it from us. Thanks for listening. Again, if we screwed up the audio this week,
It's Vince's fault.
I've been listening. You sound fine. I
All
sound
right.
fine.
If we compile this and it's dog shit, I'm gonna listen. Mac, it's garbage. All right.
If that's the case, you gotta get a mic.
Damn.
Otherwise, yeah. Look forward to next week. We'll be talking about Monster Hunter again.
Yeah, most likely.
And look forward to our streams.
Yeah.
You'll find that.
Are we gonna advertise them at all?
We can.
No, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later.
When I'm on, I'll put it on.
Do you even have
Twitter.
a Twitch account?
I do.
Oh, all right.
I do. I got OBS. I got everything.
You got OBS.
I got everything.
All right. Which one though? You got Streamlabs OBS? You just got OBS?
OBS.
All right. I need to uninstall Streamlabs
Who cares?
because a regular OBS has a plugin that will record your gameplay separate from every other device.
Why do you need this?
So I can get raw gameplay with no voiceovers and stuff, and like no webcam overlay.
And you want that?
Yeah.
Why don't you just wait? Do you need a webcam overlay for your stream? Do you usually have one?
No, but the thing is like if I record, it records whatever's on the stream.
Yes.
So if I talk,
so you have audio. Okay.
talks right. I just want raw gameplay, baby.
Okay. Well, yeah, that looks like fun. Anyways, yeah, this was a very long one this week. I guess we had a lot to talk about.
Was it actually?
Yeah, 2.5 hours. So
Listen, we're hitting for 3 next week. Swinging for the fences.
no, we're not.
All right.
We'll tighten it up next week. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.